I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I kiss you on the mouth.
No, I'm not cool with that. I'm sorry.
One more time.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
I mean, I'm dealing with degenerate animals.
I'm disappointed in every one of you. Disappointed in every one of you.
All right, come on.
Honestly, I can't do it no more.
I'm disappointed in every one of you.
Let me tell you why.
It's gonna be all right, Nicky. Go ahead, shoot.
He just killed a fucking man.
What are you going to do about it?
You're happy because you got nothing. You don't got a thing. You're happy because you got nothing. Lomito! Got nothing.
I want to get out. I want to get out of this rat hole. I want to get online. I need
BDA boxing.
Ready to connect. Click.
All right. Welcome everybody to the Boxing Podcast post-fight call-in edition for everybody after this uneventful event that we just had. I mean, at least we got something out of it in the form of an upset. But even still, I mean, it's just everything about it felt underwhelming. Now, maybe that's just me. I'm curious to get your thoughts on this. This is the call-in show. This is your show. You guys get to call in, give us your thoughts on what just transpired. Again, it was an interesting pay-per-view in the beginning, and then it just sort of, I don't know, it never really got going. So I want to hear from you. Phone lines are open. Phone numbers right there in the left-hand middle portion of your screen. I'm going to be putting it up in the marquee as well every once in a while. Before we get down to the fun, fellas, let's get the business out of the way. You know the drill. If you want to donate a couple of shekels our way, you're certainly welcome to do so via the Super Chat feature. You can also join the membership program, get special emojis, badges, the whole shebang. You can also join our free Patreon and donate as much or as little as you want. Doesn't matter. Every little bit helps. And we also got a Buy Me a Coffee app link in the description, so make sure to check that out. But the most important thing is you continue to like, you subscribe, and you spread that BDA gospel. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'm talking about I'm Your Leader. Shout out to I'm Your Leader, one of the initiated. Hearns G, J.A., Eparokua, Chandler Walls, Jesse, Kane Mack, Joe in the house, a.k.a. JDA, Skullkid25, J. Will, Jokey Jokes, US Body Love, Marcelo Boxeo, Handsome Mechanic, who else? Sergeant, shout out to the Sergeant, Kristen Mack, Nightmurph, one of the initiated, The Quags, another one of the initiated, Chandler Wall says, BDA Boxing, you should never pay for boxing events. Never the output these fighters put out is You know what? This one, I said it on the Discord right before coming on the air. One of the few times I regret buying a pay-per-view, especially a Turkey Al Sheikh one. This was really failed to deliver. Super Sardonic, J. Will, Sadie Soda, JC, SSC, one of the initiated. Shout out to him, Dorian, Manos, Epatukua, and many more people to come. I'm sure, fellas, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. Like I said, the phone number is right there in the left-hand middle portion of your screen. And every once in a while, I'll be putting it up right there. Marquee. Phone number is 320-412-2035. That's 320-412-2035. Either way, there it is always in the left-hand portion of your screen. Let's go to the phone lines right off the bat. Let's go to 619. 619, you're on the air. 619, what's on your mind?
Hello.
Yes, 619. Gonzalo, yes, what's up, man?
This is Jose.
Oh, shit. You know, I knew one time I was going to get him wrong. Well, what's up, Jose?
Nah, it is Gonzalo.
Ah, you know what, Gonzalo? It's too late at night, man, especially after this underwhelming card. What's up, man?
No, I was thinking,
Okay, so how was it underwhelming, or was I? My first word was awkward, but if you really think about it, okay, the favorites won. The only one that didn't win was Ryan, and in the fight that, well, like I personally thought that was going to be the most convincing or easiest fight. The other two fights were boring, but pretty much what most people thought. Not that I did, but yeah, there was just the three fights were boring. Actually, so they were boring, but the biggest shock was that Ryan, I don't know if at this point that he got dropped, is that he just didn't let his hands go. That was a shock to me. So that's crazy. The only thing that I can really think of is because I was driving my scooter coming back from work. But I did catch the knockdown right when it happened and the instant replay. I think the punch landed perfectly.
It did.
It landed perfectly,
right
and he just got shell shock after that. That's all, Mr. BDA.
It's possible, but wait, hold on real quick before I let you go, Gonzalo. Teofimo Lopez Barboza, did that go as expected for you?
I only caught like from the fifth round on, and it was pretty boring.
Well, let me just tell you.
Some punches landed, of course. Well, Teofimo landed, and I didn't see Barboza landed as much.
He didn't. He landed one. His best punch of the fight was somewhere in the middle of the fight where he caught Lopez with a right hand and cut him. But other than that, Lopez just too quick. Although I do feel, Gonzalo, that Lopez sort of got by on his athleticism, the fact that he was quicker, which is something that I was expecting on fight week. That his speed is going to be the difference in this fight. Haney completely stunk out the joint. He backfoot. See, if people want to know what the definition of backfoot bitching is, Gonzalo, that's the fight to watch.
Yeah, and so even Antonio Tolliver, because I was listening. No, the cut I missed, but I was listening to that because I had my earbuds on as I was working. But I did see some of the rounds where I had it on my phone propped up on like a table, and I saw how Haney was moving with his legs, and Antonio Tolliver was referencing that like he started talking about it maybe in the end of the first, but by the fourth, fifth, he was exhibiting the pattern where he also was not letting his hands go. So maybe he was smirking at Ryan because Ryan got dropped or because he lost, but he was also he also wasn't doing anything. And same thing could be said about Jose Carlos Ramirez. But anyways, that was a boring fight.
It was an underwhelming event, Gonzalo. We'll talk more about it, I suppose, as we recap this in a couple of days, maybe. But
Hey, one more thing, Mr. BDA. One more thing. Hey,
sure.
Thanks for telling me that the fight's here in Vegas, because since I'm here, I'm gonna go to the fight.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna get the ticket tonight. Yeah,
okay, nice.
I started thinking a lot of people don't know about it, so will there be availability to watch it for maybe like $100 less the Uber? And if I drink like a tall can or two and I go by myself, basically, on a Sunday, where Inouye's not as mainstream, even though he's a good fighter. For whatever reason, they did it on a Sunday, and maybe a lot of people here not going, or whether a lot of people do go, I don't know. I think I could get a ticket.
We'll see, right? Man. Maybe even if you wait on the day of the fight, maybe they really slash the prices at that point. But I mean, you do it the way you want to, because I'm not sure either. Yeah. All right, man, Gonzalo, good to hear from you, man. And
I'll get it today or I'll get it tomorrow.
All righty, man. Thank you for calling in, Gonzalo. We'll talk later, man. All right. Take it easy.
All right, later.
Really did get me when he said he was Jose. I thought, oh man, I got it wrong. Fellas, the phone number is right there in the left and middle portion of your screen. Call in. Let us know what you thought about the card. First of all, let's talk about the main event. Rolly Romero upsetting Ryan Garcia. Not only upsetting Ryan Garcia, but probably everybody involved in that event, because they were all banking on that Ryan Garcia-Haney rematch. I mean, everything was set for a financially rewarding event with the rematch, and Ryan Garcia crapped the bed. And I got to tell you, even though I am surprised that Rolly Romero pulled it off, I am not shocked that if anybody was going to drop the ball in this event, it was going to be Ryan Garcia. We were going to say, oh, how can you say that? I mean, listen, he shows up in there, gets dropped, still standing way too straight up in the air, just like in the Luke Campbell fight 5 years ago. And then thereafter, he's shell-shocked. I think he was, if he was shell-shocked, I didn't think it was from the punch so much as he felt Romero's strength, because when he fought Luke Campbell, and even against Tank Davis, he still kept coming forward. Here, he was a little bit more reticent to throw punches and even more reticent to really press the issue, which I can understand because if he walked into Romero's wheelhouse, that's where he was going to get caught. But still, very disappointing performance from Garcia. Lack of right hands, not even that left hook of his, the vaunted left hook, no body shots. I'm surprised too that the decision was for Romero because I didn't really see Romero doing much either. I was surprised every time Coppinger gave him a round. I thought Garcia was at least landing the significant shots upstairs, but therein lies the meat of it or the crux of it, that in a fight in which not much is going on, fighter A is giving the judges the benefit of the doubt for fighter B. Because if you're not doing anything and the other guy's not doing anything else and it's 50-50, one judge might say, I'll give it to fighter A, two other judges give it to fighter B. That's why it's important to let your hands go. And Ryan Garcia still hasn't figured all of that out. That's why I once said about Ryan Garcia, the reason why I'm not high on him and the reason why I wasn't confident in picking him against Romero was because you never know what he's going to do or not do, a.k.a. training. He said right after the post-fight, in the post-fight commentary or interview rather, I stopped to listen to it right before broadcasting here, and he said no excuses. But then again, give it a couple of days. Actually, give it a couple of seconds because right after he said no excuses, Coppinger gave him a layup and told him, hey, what about that layoff? And he goes, yeah, certainly the layoff affected me. So there's an excuse right there. And I'm pretty sure he's going to come up with a couple more before the end of the week or in the end of the weekend, rather, within the next 36 hours. I suspect. I project 36 hours. Either way, he ruined the fight. I'm pretty sure Bill Haney and Devin Haney are breathing a sigh of relief because even if Romero was able to beat Garcia, he's strong, he can crack, he's awkward. Haney, he's fast. He's got a good jab. But other than that, the book on him is that he's fragile. I mean, look at how he ran from, whatchamacallit. Look at how he ran from Jose Ramirez, who was a shot fighter, to say the least. Shot, slower, older. And I'm glad Lampley and Tarver were there to keep him in line. Because if it would have been any other 21st century commentator, wow, look at that skill, look at those skills. Sergio Moro would have probably encouraged Haney to fight even more reserved. But no, we had Lampley, we had Tarver, two guys who know what they're talking about, and they let people know what they were seeing. Shout out to Mars Boxeo for his contribution to the Super Chat. He says, Ryan is now officially Italian. I mean, listen, I've often compared him to Andy Ruiz. He's a guy that has hand speed. He's got the power. But just mentally, or when it comes to dedication, when it comes to his wherewithal, his fortitude, his work ethic, it's not there. He lacks resolve. And you saw it tonight. He got hit a little bit. He didn't have a right hand to follow it up. Romero took away the left hook, and that was it. That's all he needed to get. I mean, I think he did get a little help from the judges there, but I mean, hey, that's Garcia's fault too. You got quick hands, you got power. There's no excuse not to let your hands go. Romero is a bit of a shifty counterpuncher, but it's not that he can counterpunch all that much. He's not a natural counterpuncher. So I really, Ryan Garcia really crapped the bed tonight. Oh, all right. Hold on a second. Yeah, shout out to whoever just sent a message, contribution via the Buy Me a Coffee app. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it after this phone call because right now I have to open up the thing there. But thank you to whomever it was. And I'll be reading it very, very soon. Let's go to the phone lines here. Let's go to 757. 757, you're on the air. 757, what's on your mind?
What's up, BDA?
What's up, caller? What's on your mind?
This is OG Boogie.
Oh, OG Boogie, man. It's been a while. What's up?
What's up, brother? Yeah, I saw the fight. I saw that Rolly Romero's retarded strength came out in the second round.
Okay. Right off the bat, man.
I'm not bashing any person that has mental disorder or whatever, but come on. Rolly got that retarded strength. And you can see it in the weigh-ins. When he was standing side by side with Ryan,
he had that Austrian gut. You could say like like these power lift bodybuilders and stuff. They got that bubble gut.
Right.
But it was lackluster fight. All this hype. It was unimpressive.
I'm right there with you, man. I mean, well, first of all, let me ask you. I think, are you in the New York area, or you're simply originally from there but no longer residing there?
Yeah, that last statement.
Okay. So you didn't have a chance to go there because you know what, OG Boogie? There was more energy from the people complaining about the closed event rather than the event itself, the fights themselves. That's how underwhelming they were. What did you think of that? That the event was closed.
That just shows that these overpaid fighters that don't take the initiative, like how real fighters in our era, I don't want to, say your age, but in my era, the Four Kings, Tyson, we had Klitschko's, we had, the last one that I saw was Marvin Hagler fighting Sugar Ray, which they stole that from him. Because that 30-second shoe shine shit wasn't really working. I thought Hagler won that fight, but just like with the Golovkin bullshit, right. They aged him out.
Well, I mean, I got to tell you, this event, OG Boogie, was really lackluster. But it was especially lackluster and disappointing because of the whole prelude to it. A lot of drawing, a lot of promises of this and that. Haney, of all people, promised to hurt Ramirez. And for anyone who believed in OG Boogie, I got a bridge to sell him because who believes Haney's going to hurt anybody?
Yeah, no, Haney can't hurt a fly. His punches, look, come on, be realistic. He's a boxer style. He moves and runs, and he grabs, clinch. I liked it, Ryan Garcia last fight with him, even though they... Yeah, I'm sorry.
I once heard, I have it on good authority, somebody sent me the rundown. Haney once kicked a pillow and ended up fracturing his toe. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true. I don't know. Yeah, but that's what my sources tell me. But hey, listen, OG Boogie, man.
You got the MRI for it?
I mean, I got a couple of things. I'm like Wilder's brother. I got the autopsy. They send me the autopsy. All right, OG Boogie.
Yo, God bless you, BDA. And,
all right, man.
And Bucho, King Bucho, everybody out there, listen up. It's good. It's good to illustrate what you see of a fight, and everybody has opinions. And as long as we could discuss it in a open format like this, is good for everyone. God bless you all. Keep going, doing the right thing, and peace out.
All right, take it easy, OG Boogie. Good to hear from you. Good to hear you're still around, man. Take it easy.
All right, my brother.
All right. All right, that was OG Boogie. I hadn't talked to him in a while. I was actually thinking about him a couple of weeks ago. I said, hey, OG Boogie, what happened to him? Good to hear he's still around. He probably got tired a little bit of the boxing. It happens, man. I mean, even now that it's in a renaissance, people still, sometimes life comes up. You can't just focus on boxing too much. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. It really helps us out. And don't forget to call in. The phone number is right there in the left-hand middle portion of your screen. This is your show. You guys get to. It can be as good or as bad as you want it to be. Depends on you. You guys got to call in, make the show happen. Let me read a Buy Me a Coffee donation here. Shout out to Don Possum for his contribution to the Buy Me a Coffee. And he says, it's been 1 or 2 weeks since people started debating on X about which combat sport is doing. Doing what? I suspect that he's trying to say that there was a debate for about 2 weeks, or in the last 2 weeks rather, about which combat sport is the best or the most successful. I know Eddie Hearn sort of provided some inflammatory and incendiary comments about how the UFC, or in the MMA as a whole, has no stars. And boxing was on a good run the last, ever since 2023. 2023 and 2024 and the first part of 2025 have been excellent. But this event really slowed things down to a crawl. The good thing is, good news, fellas, it's not all bad. We got tomorrow and we've got Sunday. We've got Canelo fighting tomorrow, and then on top of that, it's a good card. You got Munguia versus Sudas, the rematch. You got an intercontinental African matchup between Ajagbe and Bakoli. Someone's getting knocked out. And you also have Badu Jack fighting on that card against a very tough Armenian fighter. So it should be an interesting night of boxing. Perhaps I dare say more interesting than the one we just had. And then on Sunday, Inoue versus Cardenas. And if that fight turns out to be a whitewash or a blowout, like most people are expecting in favor of Inoue, you still got Rafael El Divino Espinoza on that card taking on the very tough Edwin Vasquez. Or is it Edward Vasquez? Listen, late at night, I've had a couple of drinks. What do you want from me? But it's Vasquez. So he doesn't make it easy for anybody. Ask Raymond Ford and Joe Cordina. So those are the fights that are on the docket. Fellas, don't forget to hit that like. Send a couple of super chats if you're so inclined to do so. And let's go to the phone lines. Let's go to 210. 210, you're on the air. 210. What's on your mind?
Hey, it's Southpaw.
Oh, Southpaw, what's up?
Hey, man. I mean, I know you're trying to shine some light about we still got tomorrow and Sunday. But honestly, bro, like Canelo has another cherry pick. He's going to knock him out. Anyway, as happy as I am that he's here, I know Cardenas personally, and I went to his last fight. He doesn't stand a chance, bro. So my only hope for the weekend was really the Tio fight. I mean, even Tio bored me to death, bro, because he reminds me of Shakur, but not as boring. Like, he makes the guy miss, right? But he doesn't and he'll pop shot, but that's all he does. He's a pot shotter. He doesn't throw combos. He doesn't jab. He doesn't box. He just pot shots and shows his athleticism, making the guy miss. So it's like, to me, the Tio fight was boring, and that was the most competitive fight of the whole weekend. So I was so disappointed about tonight, bro. Ryan looked like shit. I mean, everybody was watching I couldn't believe how gun-shy Haney is. You know, I was looking at that fight. I'm like, damn, like Haney has no shot to beat Ryan. But then, sure enough, Ryan comes in and stinks up the joint and looks like, I'm like, okay, well, that's a competitive fight now again, because they both look like crap. So it's like, it's crazy, man. Like, it's just, man, like we're drawing a lot of fans in, a lot of casuals, and that's hard to do. It's rare. But like tonight was a disappointment. Everybody who watched tonight that I was around, they were all casuals. They didn't have fun. They didn't like it. So tomorrow, I mean, it might be the same thing. And on Sunday, I mean, it might be the same thing because they're not competitive.
Well, tomorrow's fights tend to be... Listen, if Canelo stops, what's his name? Skull, it'll be at least more entertaining than anything we saw tonight. And the undercard's not bad tomorrow. The undercard's actually pretty good. So I would be surprised, and hopefully we're not jinxing it here, but I'd be surprised if it turns out worse than today. But by the way, people are joking that it's a good thing the event was closed off to the public, because they probably would have rioted after the last the ho-hum performances that we saw. Did you see anything on Twitter or whatever, or what did you think about the fact that it was actually close to the people?
Yeah, I mean that was a good thing, but another good thing is it was really early, so a lot of casuals didn't really know it was going on this early. I was at a sports bar place, and I was telling the girl, like the bartender girl, I was like, "Hey, are they gonna put the sound on?" She's like, "Oh, this is still the prelims." I'm like, "No, it's not. This is the main card," because it was on super early, and like even the dude next to me was like, "Oh, it's already on." I'm like, "Yeah, bro. Like it's on like at 5:00 p.m. Like we're not used to seeing stuff until like 8, 9 o'clock, here in Texas time." So like it was probably a good thing it was on early. And you know what? Turki Al-Ashik is going to learn a hard lesson. Bob Arum once said, never fall in love with the fighters because they'll break your heart every time. And sure enough, you're going to see, he's seeing these young crop of American fighters, which are my main complaint, because they're a bunch of fucking brats along with divas like Canelo. And like, they're going to disappoint you every time. You imagine how much money, you know how much money they put into closing down that section of Times Square You know how much money they had to pay to do that? Like, it's crazy. They brought in all kinds of people and bigwigs and whales that have a lot of money, thinking that this is going to be crazy, and it was a dud. And this is why, like, this is my biggest fear. Like, Turkey was a good thing, right? But I already had a feeling, like, guys like Tank, who said, I want 2 Ferraris to even talk. You know what I mean? Like, brats like in America are going to drive this guy away, and before you know it, he's going to be gone. And then we're going to be looking for somebody else to help monetize the sport, because these fighters expect and they think they're worth more than what they really are.
Yeah, there is such a thing as trying to reinvent the wheel too much, and that's Turkey Al-Ashik with this event. It was completely nonsensical to do it in Times Square. Well, I didn't get the point.
No,
really
I think it was a good idea. I think it was an awesome idea. I think this was like unprecedented. Like, I think tonight, if it would have gone like good, it would have been. It would have like UFC guys would have shut up about boxing dying and they're taking over. Like, we would have shown like this would have been a boxing night where we shined our sport, saying, "Yo, look, we're still in it." You know, but this is still the premier one-on-one sport. You know what I mean? But like, it was a great idea, awesome idea. I mean, I wanted it to look like a video game where you see like, you know, those video games where it's like a 1-versus-1 video game and there's like a Tokyo in the back or New York in the back. You know what I mean? Like a Street Fighter. I wanted it to look like that, but like, yo, these fights were so bad. Like, it was a great idea. And Turk, God bless him, bro, or Allah, whoever.
Oh, wait a minute.
Right? But his heart is in the right place because he loves boxing. He's a hyper fan. If you ask him who his favorite fighters are, they're like fighters from the 70s and the 60s. Like, he's a hardcore, like, deep boxing fan. But like, yo, they're disappointing this guy, and you can only disappoint these guys so much. We've seen so many people walk away from the sport with money. And like another quote from Bob Burnham, the desert is filled with bleached bones because we see guys come, we see guys go, and I hope it doesn't happen to Turkey.
Well, we shall see. We shall see indeed. All right, well, listen, Southpaw, we're gonna move on here, but thank you for your call, and call back next time.
No, man, come on, keep me on, bro. I want to talk with you.
All right, maybe later, man.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, bro. I'm just kidding.
All right.
All right, bro. Hey, thanks for having me on, man.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too, man. Yeah, don't forget to call in, fellas. The phone number is right there in the left-hand middle portion of your screen. Make sure to call in. I gotta tell you, there were a couple of highlights, at least. It wasn't a complete waste of. We got an upset between Romero and Ryan Garcia. We had like Superstar Sardonic says that dude driving Ryan in the Batmobile was on drugs. Could you imagine? If he was actually that inebriated or that high? He ends up crashing into a bunch of people. That would have been a real tragedy. Although we did see a bit of, not as big as the event itself, but the other thing was Teofimo Lopez tripping as he went into the ring. I mean, I got to tell you, every time Lopez wins, there's people out there that might think, wow, Teofimo Sr. is actually a really good trainer. I'd like to hear what great instructions he gave him, because all he was saying is, come on, bro. Knock him out already. Get him out of there, bro. He's tripping into the ring. Obviously, it seemed like he'd had a couple of drinks before the fight. He's not really giving him any instructions, bro this, bro that. I'm telling you, Lopez, I think Lopez, that's a testament to his actual, I wouldn't say skills necessarily, but his talent and his instincts, because he's been able to do it all by himself for the most part. Pretty sure his father had a part to play in there with teaching him maybe some of the basics, but you can still see, even though he won, even though he beat Barboza, as expected, Lopez was a favorite. I was actually a little disappointed that he didn't really, he got by on the speed and the fact that Barboza got shell-shocked. Remember in the preview video we talked about that? Is Barboza going to get shell-shocked by the speed? Sure enough, he did. There's only what separates the great fighters from the okay ones is their ability to get past the other man's speed. For example, Carlos Ramirez, he was pressing Haney. He was sticking to him like glue. But he just couldn't get off that punch. He couldn't pull the trigger in time, and the difference in speed was enough for Haney either to run away or to clinch. Which, by the way, that's the other thing that got me about Haney. In a way, like I say, he's probably breathing a sigh of relief that Garcia lost his fight, but you got to wonder what's next for Haney, because when you have a career as his that's been very carefully constructed and guided, and manufactured, you can always come back. You got a piano hanging over your head. If it's not Ryan Garcia, it's going to be somebody else. It's probably, what's his name? Teofimo Lopez. So you just never know with Haney. He's probably laughing it up now, but I wouldn't laugh too much or too long, because that there's a bunch of other guys in that division, or even at welterweight. Actually, yeah, that fight against Jose Carlos Ramirez was at welterweight. So he stays at welterweight or he goes down to 140. He still has some tough guys to contend with. But that's the other thing, though. Some people were saying, "Oh, Lopez loses to Hitchens." I still think Hitchens gives him a good fight, but I'm not sure if I would make Hitchens a favorite, because the speed is about equal, but Teofimo Lopez has more superior upper body movement and more pop in his shots. Fellas, don't forget to call in. Give us your thoughts on anything and everything boxing. Call in. The phone number is right there in the left-hand portion of your screen. Actually, right there. Marquee. 320-412-2035. That's 320-412-2035. Shout out to Gonzalo for his contribution to the Super Chat. Gonzalo, you didn't have to do that, but much appreciated either way. Shout out to Gonzalo, who says, Ramirez probably should retire. I mean, I got to tell you, his ability to cut off the ring is still there. He was cornering Haney, but then Haney just proved too fast for him when it came to launching. And also, Ramirez, even though he was the second best junior welterweight for a while there was always something a little bit missing with him. And one of the things we saw today was a lack of a right hand. He's always looking for the combination, that left hook upstairs. At his best, he was landing body shots. This time, he didn't even really try him that much. And a little good right hand, just a popping right hand, like Benavidez throws, like Trinidad used to throw, like Chavez and Castillo used to throw. That's how you pin a mobile fighter down. You can't if you just jump in 1-2, these guys are expecting that 1-2 at that speed. You gotta mix it in with some deception, some feints, some throwaway shots, on just with both hands. But again, it's easier said than done. But even then, like I said, listen, Ryan Garcia lost. Devin Haney's probably smiling and laughing it up, which is sort of, I mean, I got to ask you guys, isn't that a little bit pathetic that they would celebrate Garcia losing instead of wanting to get their get back, as it were, to have their revenge on Garcia? Because that's what I would feel like. Hey, if I really believe that the guy cheated against me and, battered me around, made me shit my pants, I would want to get some revenge. Instead, they're celebrating that they're not going to have to fight him. I don't know. What do you guys think? You tell me. Like I said, phone number is right there in the left and middle portion of your screen. Let's go to the comment section here. Let's just see what people are saying. Said Soda says it is BDA. 662292 says Shakur was probably jealous of Haney's performance. I saw some tweets, but I couldn't save them. But I saw some tweets that said they were laughing it up about that, saying, hey, man, Shakur Stevens is probably jealous that Haney's more boring than him now. Somebody was posting a picture or a GIF of a guy, a bowler, sort of celebrating, right? But he's pointing both thumbs at himself, like, yeah, me, I'm the best. And somebody put Shakur saying he's the most boring fighter in boxing. And then so they put Devin Haney, and as if that's Devin Haney, the guy pointing. And listen, this performance was much worse than anything Shakur Stevenson offered in the last 6 months, because at least Shakur Stevenson stood his ground for the most part against Hartoon Onion. This was the definition of back foot bitching, because it's 30 seconds, moving 30 seconds at a clip, one shot, clinch. Moving 30 seconds at a clip, make the guy miss, smother him, clinch. That is the definition of back foot bitching. That is, I mean, on the one hand, I can understand him doing that. Well, I'll tell you later, but let's go to the phone lines here. Let's go to 619. 619, you're on the air. 619, what's on your mind?
Yeah, this is Gonzalo again.
Is that right? What's up, Gonzalo?
Hey. No, that is me. Hey, BDA, that's what I was thinking. Like the consolation prize, or like where you can get soulless. If like you're into boxing, because I was really looking forward to this weekend. It's the 5 de Mayo or whatever. Not only was that fight, but tomorrow we have Canelo. Then on Sunday, we got Naoya Inoue. So that's 3 nights. And plus, like you mentioned, there's a couple of interesting fights on the undercard. So that's kind of a good thing still, to like where I got the stance. I might want to set up my TV and hear it off the TV. But you know what would be crazy?
What's that?
Like, we're really turned awkward. If City the Wolf did, what if Canelo lost the decision to Skull?
That's what I told. That's what I told
Yep.
Bucho. I said, imagine as we were watching Garcia struggle with Romero. I said, wouldn't it be funny if tomorrow Canelo's in the same position where you're watching and you're thinking, why isn't he beating this guy? What's he doing? What's going on? But now, listen, Skull is way too far below in level to be able to pull that off.
I don't know. Well, yeah, it's weird because he's coming out of nowhere. He wasn't. He didn't achieve anything at the top level in the amateurs. So he's in a position to, maybe there's a reason he's that good, but probably not, because I don't think that he's gonna win.
That's a good point.
But he looks athletic and he's bigger. Who knows, man, where they pull these guys out from? And
yeah, man. I mean,
he's from Cuba, so
well, that's what
there's an open question there whether he's that bad or he's okay or he's good.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're right. We'll see tomorrow, I suppose. He's big, much bigger than Canelo. Maybe that he can use that somehow, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, Gonzalo, man.
Yeah, and lastly,
sure.
Hey, and Ramirez, and what's that guy is fighting? Inouye. He knocks Inouye out.
Nah. I mean, anything's possible because he can crack a little bit. He scored a couple of knockdowns in the fights I've seen him in, but and you know, Inouye at 122. Inouye at 122, he's looked.
Yeah,
that's the division in which he's looked at his most human rather. But yeah, I mean, it's a long shot. It's a long shot.
And the one knocks out Usyk with the body shot.
Oh, I mean, yeah, man. Imagine that. You never know. The year of upsets.
Now, I was thinking the best fighters they're always gonna beat. They're gonna run through these guys: Canelo, Inouye, and Usyk. But anyways, all right. Later,
Later, man. Thank you for calling back, man. Take it easy out there. Yeah, I forget over there in Vegas where he's at. It's only 7:33 p.m. But shout out to Gonzalo. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. It's a post-fight call-in show. Call in and give us your thoughts on anything and everything boxing. Phone number is right there in the left-hand middle portion of your screen. Let's go to a phone call. Let's go to 207. 207, you're on the air. 207. What's on your mind?
Hey, what's shaking? Am I loud and clear?
Yes. Is this Slugger Sam?
No, come on. Stop it. Stop, BDA. It's Mad Chat all the way from Portland, Maine. I'm not in
Mad
Canada.
Chat. No, hey, listen, I've been on the record saying before, the first time Slugger Sam, the first time I ever heard you call in or that I talked to you, I thought, this is Slugger Sam. You kind of sound alike, a little bit.
He plagiarizes me. He uses all my terms. He's like a low definition, Mad Chat. But
he's an imitation.
But this Turkey guy's lucky. Turkey's lucky this card wasn't in the big room there in Madison Square Garden, right? Because they would have been booing. There would have been a lot of boos. I mean, the Tio did what he had to do, right? He was just so much better level, so much faster, quicker, just at different levels. There's levels to the games, and Tio showed it for sure. Devin Haney, my God, was he a deer in headlights? He was jittering, bug around. I'm like, this guy is afraid. Jose is toast. Jose slowed down. He's like in cement. There was no cutting off the ring. No matter what, anybody's going to tell him. He's a tired horse. Shout out to Jose Ramirez, classy fighter. But that was just like a hand pick. That was like a low definition pro gray. That was one of those fighters that need to, the fighter to stand in front of him to make it a fight. And they totally. That was I couldn't believe it. What a shit show that was. And they bailed themselves out. Goofy Ryan bailed himself out with his performance because, once I saw Ismail Salas, I'll tell you, meat and potatoes, I said that all along with Rolly's kind of awkward, retarded little extra chromosome style. You could see that, a little meat and potatoes. He calls it out in Vegas the House of Fundamentals. That's what that little midget does, Salas. He's 4'2", he's shorter than LT. This Salas is shorter than LT. He's just a great trainer. And you could see Rolly was on point that whole night. Rolly didn't get all goofy. A couple times he threw those haymakers, and he almost knocked himself out with that one haymaker. He threw his equilibrium off and everything. I thought he might take a knee. He missed so hard with that punch. But Rolly at 147, what a thick-looking dude. And like I said, he kept that glove up to keep that left hook negated the whole fight. And what a great game plan. He had that tunnel vision, and he pulled off the upset there. But, yeah, basically, what a shit card. But I was kind of a little disappointed in it. But BDA, great show, you know. And we got Canelo tomorrow night against School. His name's School. It ain't Skull. My God,
right.
how the hell do you get School out of Skull? I mean, what pronunciation? They said he's Cuban. He speaks French. He's from Germany.
Yeah,
I mean,
in Spanish,
like Gonzalo said, really.
In Spanish,
huh?
in Spanish, when you get the SCU, it spells scu, like scuba.
Ooh.
So that's how it is in Spanish.
Scuba,
yeah. So.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yeah,
in terms of, I'm going to ask you this question. Haney was laughing it up in between. They showed him during the Garcia Romero card fight. They showed him during the Romero Garcia fight, and he was laughing it up, shaking his head. It's almost like he was happy that Garcia was losing. If you're Haney, wouldn't you be disappointed that you're not going to get your chance at revenge against Garcia?
Well, my God, he was scared to death with old Jose. I mean, the dude, I haven't seen anybody ping pong run around be so negative. I mean, I don't know how many punches it was almost comical. I mean, he came out just that, he was running. That was definitely he can't fight. Yeah, he's laughing all the way. He fights Ryan. Ryan will check him again because Jose hit him a couple times, and Jose is just so slow. You know, he just needs to. But Devin, I don't know. I don't know who's he going to fight next. Shakur, like I said, that'd be a great sleep medicine. You know what I mean? You could probably bottle that up and make a lot of money with it. You know. But I don't know. What do you think, BDA? I mean, what are you going to do? Laugh or cry? I mean.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna laugh and then cherry pick. That's what he's gonna do. They're gonna look for the easiest opponent that can make them the most money. That's what they're gonna do. But hey, Matcha, listen, man, we gotta move on here. But I posted the link on the chat. Rumble, that's our secondary non-boxing channel over at Rumble. Drop on by and we'll talk some classic rock. All right. I've been
for sure, classic rock, and you can go uncut on Rumble. I heard.
That's what I was gonna get to because you can't play the actual music on the.
I'll go shirtless.
Yeah, you can't play the music on YouTube, but you can play it on Rumble. So drop on over there and do a show.
I will check that out for sure, BDA. And everybody hit the like, subscribe, and drop the kid a couple shackles. You know, everybody have a great night. God bless, BDA.
All right, take it easy, Matt Chat. Thank you for your comment. Take it easy out there. All right, that was the Matt Chatter calling in. Shout out to Matt Chat. Let's go to our phone call here. Let's go to 901. 901, you're in the air. 901, what's on your mind?
Hey, BDA, it's Ceylon.
Oh, Ceylon, what's up, man?
Yeah, man, that was awful. That was so bad. I was like, damn, man. You know, there's off nights, and then that just sucked. If I were Haney, I wouldn't be celebrating shit. You don't laugh it up and yuck it up after you stink up a joint like that. You know, my God. In a race with himself, he came in last place. You know, Jesus.
I mean, that was before the fight, we were talking about what's going to happen, what could happen. Even the upset between Garcia and Romero, with Garcia crapping the bed, he was still on. How can an upset be uneventful and unexciting? It was just everything about this card fell flat. What do you think went wrong?
Man, I got no idea. It was just crap. Everything about the card, top to bottom, was weird. The event, they had the event blocked off from view. You put it in one of the biggest public spaces in the entire U.S., one of the biggest public spaces in the world, and you block it off from the public, and then everybody sucks, and then Ryan Garcia gets scared from throwing punches by a lightweight who cracked the top 50 because of a rigged decision against Jackson Marinas.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just doesn't get any fruitier than this. It's goofy.
It just goes to show you all these people calling.
Rolly did pretty good.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to give it up to him. I still don't know how he pulled off the win. I mean, I didn't see him doing much either, but I guess that's the way the judges saw it. But it's interesting. People were calling Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson. Oh, no, actually, it was Ryan Garcia, Teofimo Lopez, Tank Davis, and Devin Haney. They were calling them the Four Kings. I think people should take away that designation, man. Stop using that designation.
That's the stupid. You know, you don't call people that until they've proven it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the four. You know, you can't be a has-been if you ain't done it yet. So what do you call it? The four ain't done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how about that?
I agree, man.
Teo, The only, like another caller said, the only competitive fight. Well, the most competitive fight was Teo and Barbosa, and Teo was kind of what you expected. I don't see how. I don't see that doing him much good against Boots Ennis or something like that. I don't know. He's going to disappear. He's going to disappear out of the ring for a year, but he's going to talk nonstop, and then he'll fight someone else. Maybe it'll be, maybe it'll be a Steve Claggett rematch. Maybe it'll be Eve Ulysses.
Hey, maybe, you never know. I wouldn't be surprised, man. Who knows what he wants out of his career? But listen,
how about Cletus Selden?
Cletus Selden, yeah. I thought he was retired. Why not bring him out of retirement? The Hebrew Hammer or whatever his nickname was.
Yeah, he fought recently. He's pretty fun.
Oh, no kidding. Well, you know what? Wouldn't be surprised to see him in there, man. All right, man. Ceylon, we got to move on here, but thank you for your call, and call back next time.
Thanks, buddy. Take care.
Thank you. Have a good night. Let's go to our phone call here. Let's go to 630. 630, you're on the air. 630. What's on your mind?
What up, BDA? And if you don't know my name, let me introduce myself. My name is definitely not a Hove, but it's AO. You know what I'm saying? And this is what I'm going to tell you. Why you acting surprised? It's New York, Shiesty City. They're going to shiesty your motherfuckers up. You know what I'm saying? This was a rigged fight, like Don King, like Al Heyman.
Wait. Why are you
saying?
But
now it's Turkey LA6 doing. What happened?
What are you saying? You're saying the fights were rigged?
Yeah.
Which one specifically?
All of them.
Oh.
Like, you look at, if you're a betting guy, you look at the parlays, there was no such thing as a parlay for T.O., Haney, and Garcia to win. That was the parlay. But there was no such thing for Garcia to lose. So that was the upset of the night, right?
So break it down.
What I gotta say.
That's well. But why would the Sheik? Why would the Sheik?
This is a WWF PBC top rank. It's all rigged.
But why would be the?
It's all rigged. It's all rigged
behind
because now it's more of a conference. It's more of a fight now, because what happens now? Now we're supposed to see Haney and Garcia now, but
right.
What happens now? Are we still going to have that fight?
I don't know. But that's my question to you, caller.
Exactly.
Why would they? Caller. That's my question to you. Why would they rig it? Caller. Excuse me.
All Garcia had to do was win the fight.
Okay, I get that. We know that, but I'm curious. Why why would they rig it and lose a potentially lucrative Haney Garcia rematch?
Good question.
So, but what did you see in that?
This is behind the scene. Keep us guessing.
But what did you see that made you say, okay, these fights are rigged?
Dude, all of them went 12 rounds. The only fight that I seen going 12 rounds was two of them, not the last one. Both of them were big punchers. Yeah, Ryan got knocked out because he the same mistake that he does in every fucking fight.
Mm-hmm.
His chin is up. He went down for a little bit. He got up. That was in the first, second round, right? Yes or no?
It was in the second round, I believe.
Second round. Okay. He gets back up, goes 12 rounds with this guy. And look at the last press conference. I think it was Thursday. Yeah, last night. It was last night or Wednesday. They shook it up. They shook when they had a conference like, yeah, we got this. We're making this money, and nobody's going to get hurt.
Now, without invalidating, Teofimo
is known to get.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
I'm sorry. Teofimo is known to get iced up in his face, and this time he was barely red. Usually we see him purple.
Caller, without trying to devaluate or because I am open-minded and I do believe conspiracies exist, meaning people get together and they say, okay, if we want to improve our bottom line, what can we do to improve it? I believe that happens. But in this scenario, when you say, well, all the fights went the distance, Lopez's last 2 fights have gone, actually 3 fights have gone the distance. Haney is not a puncher. Garcia Romero. Oh yeah, I'm surprised that, that he didn't manage to hurt Romero, but still, it's Ryan Garcia is a hot and cold fighter. So I just because those fights went the distance, I'm not seeing it, Kohler. I'm not convinced yet.
Come on, before we see this fight with Rolly, was it really 50-50? Rolly really came back winning tight fights.
Okay, well, listen, Kohler, what was your name again? AO?
AO.
AO.
Hey, look, and my thing is that I'm Mexican-American. I'm supporting Ryan Garcia, but when I see Rick, I see Rick.
Well, listen, I'm intrigued by your theory. I suggest you go out there, you do a little research, dig in as much, and dig up as much info as you can, and call back next time, all right? I want a full report for the next episode. That'll work for you, AO?
All right. I understand your view and everything, but come on. There's no such thing as doing research when we know the sport, not only sport of boxing, but the whole sport of America is rigged.
Well, I mean, listen, they call it
How many people won decision by Rolly? I want to know.
Please. That's why I said do the research, dig into it, give me some, dig up more evidence, and then we'll give you the floor, and you can present it to the audience.
BDA, it's on your face. It's like right there. Like, come on, man. We predict Lopez to win. We predicted Haney to win, but when it comes to Ryan Garcia, the steroids user, we all know he was steroids, but somehow we forget about Canelo, Roy Jones Jr., and everybody that used steroids and cheated in the sport of boxing, but we give him a pass.
All right,
well, if it was David Haney, so if it was somebody else like Cotto, if it was Cotto with the red fucking gloves, come on, you know where we're going.
I'm open minded. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you out. But all I'm saying is,
you got next caller. Or you wanna debate with me?
I mean, it's not a debate. I'm asking you questions because I am intrigued by your theory. All I'm saying is I need to see more evidence before I can really truly get on board with it. That's what I'm saying.
There is no evidence between and boxing in any sport. How can we debate? Nobody, neither you or me, got sources that deep that we know these boxers or these promoters to have physical and verbal evidence.
Well, I mean,
why did Al Heyman get away with shit? Why did Don King get away with?
I tell you what. Because I'm like I said, I'm hearing you out. I'm with you on some things. I tell you what. I don't let people call in twice on the same night. But let me just get to a couple of calls here and then call back. All right, in about 10-15 minutes.
Okay, so you want to debate with me?
But it's not a debate. It's not that I completely disagree with you. I'm open-minded. I'm weighing both options at the same time. All right, call back, AO.
Like I said.
Call back, AO.
I like where you're going. I call you. Hey, look, I just literally came back from watching the fight. It was bullshit. I lost my parlay because all the parlays they look. It was like, all right, 99% sure that I was going to win this parlay, and it didn't happen. Why? Ryan Garcia and Rolly. That's what fucked it all up. If whoever is betting knows this, the parlay, there's no such thing. The parlay that said Ryan was going to lose. It was for sure.
Well, listen. I got you. I do have to move on.
Garcia,
we have other phone calls, caller. AO, we got other phone calls, but call back in 15 minutes, all right, man? After some of these other calls.
I'll call you in 30 minutes.
All right. 30 minutes. All right, whatever.
I'm gonna listen in and put the like for BDA, thumbs up, subscribe. And you know what it is it's AO and BDA. What's up?
All right. What's up? All right. Take it easy, AO. Thank you for calling in, man. All right. Let me get to another couple of other phone calls here. But fellas, don't forget to hit the like. The phone number is right there in the left-hand middle portion of your screen. Call in. Give us your thoughts on anything and everything that transpired today and everything that's probably going to transpire tomorrow. Let's go to another phone call here. Let's go to 214. 214. You're on the air. 214. What's on your mind?
That's me.
That's you, 214. What's up?
BDA.
Yes.
Yeah, man, the last parlay, that nigga broke in a bitch, bro. That nigga talking about parlays and shit like that, man. He broke in the hole, man. Hey, BDA. He broke, he mad because he thought his little parlay. Man, we do that shit in the stock market on options, man. We lose 1,000, 2,000 on option calls. on Tesla, on Nvidia, on Meta. And he broke in the bitch. He's just mad. He wanted to debate because he mad because he lost his money. But anyways, look, we're talking about the fight. We're talking about the fight. Lopez versus what's his name? Barbosa. Shit was garbage. That shit was trash. I already knew Teofimo was gonna outclass Barbosa. He was too fast, too quick, too witty with a jab, too athletic. You know he won. Now the second fight versus Ramirez and No Chin Haney, that was a close fight. I don't know what they're talking about. Look, one thing about I was hearing Jim Labley, I was hearing Mike Carpenter. Mike Carpenter is garbage. He's trash, man. Throw him in the trash can, man. You can tell that he was about the bag. He was about the money. You know, he was motivated about the money. Mm-hmm. So whatever Turkey, he gave him the money, so he knew he had to push the agenda with the Haney and Garcia. So he can tell by the beginning. I was hearing Mark Carpenter, he liked Haney a lot. So he was always pushing Haney. So even with this fight where I was hearing him, he was like, Haney doing this, Haney doing that, Haney doing this. But Haney wasn't doing shit with Ramirez. They were both just standing still. I see Ramirez putting more pressure on Haney. Haney was throwing one little jab. But I see Ramirez throwing like a little combo here and there. To be honest, that was a fucking draw. You know what I'm saying? For me, it was a draw. Like I didn't even see nobody like put up no fight in that fight. It's like how the fuck you gonna have Ramirez? How the fuck you gonna have Haney win that fight and not Ramirez? Like how? You know? Like I said, for me it was a draw. Now the third fight it was what's his name? Rolly versus Garcia. Now that fight. Yeah, that fight. I had it like I didn't really watch the fight 'cause I was over here drinking. I'm over here like just watching the fight. But to be honest, I had that shit like kind of like a draw, kind of. But like he had him knock him down. But like if you really hear like Mike Carpenter, man, like he was like I don't really like the way he talks because he like a homosexual. He had like something but with like if you really hear this, you really hear Mike. He like a homosexual. You really hear him. He had like a hard on for David Haney. He had nothing good for Garcia. He had nothing good for Rolly. But with Ramirez, he was like you watched him spar. Even like going back to the Ring magazine, he watched him spar. You know, you seen that video, BDA. He watched him spar. He the one that recorded it, and he watched him spar. He was doing good sparring. So he knew how Ramirez was coming, but he never. Even in the broadcast, he was like, nah, I don't really see it 50-50. He had a hard on for Haney, right. for Garcia and for Rolly. He didn't really have no hard on. But like I'm like, dude, like it was a close fight. With that fight, but like with Garcia and Rolly, I was like, you know, you can give Garcia a gift. If it was me, if you wanted like a big fight, I'll have it a gift. But me, I had it like a 50-50. We can give it to Rolly for like 1 or 2 rounds because Garcia wasn't doing shit. Like me as a boxing fan, I'm like, okay, Rolly won. Just get to that retarded ass crayon eating ass boy. Just give it to him. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but wait, Caller, what do you think of? Before we move on, because we're running out of time, but what did you think of Jim Lampley calling out Haney's back foot bitching?
I mean, Jim Lampley, he be on point. You know, to be honest, look, Jim Lampley, he be on point sometimes. If you hear it, BDA, if you hear it from the beginning, from Teofimo Lopez to the Garcia fight. What's his name? Mike Carpenter, he was quiet. It was him and what's his name? What's the other boxer that was
Tarver?
What's his name?
Antonio Tarver.
Yeah, Tarver. Yeah, they were going back and forth. You know, they were like bouncing back and forth with ideas. You know,
right?
But with the commentary, yeah, they were going back and forth. Why? Because they were used to seeing it. But they knew that Mark Carpenter, he was bullshitting, so they were like, we don't want to like he has an agenda, so we're not gonna have him saying shit. You know what I'm saying? So even Jim Lampley, I respect Jim Lampley because he's old school, he's an OG. So he know what he's seen. He know what it's about. So I respect Jim Lanny because he know what he's talking about. You know, so like when he was real saying when he was talking about stuff, I respected it because he's an OG and he know what he was saying. And what's his name? Mark Computer. He know what the fuck he was saying. He was just going with the agenda because he barely got the money. He barely got the bag.
Exactly,
Jim Lanny, he got money. He already got the money. Just like what's his name? The one that announced Jim. What's his name? That announces
Diamante.
Buffler. Yeah, he got money. He don't give a fuck, man. He been making money for he worth $500 million. He don't give a fuck, man. He just does it just because he loved the game. He loved the boxing game. He does it just like Jim Lanny. He got money. He does it because he loves it. Mike Computer, he's trying to get to that point. So he don't know that. So he's going with the agenda what Turkey wants. So he just doing what he wants. Turkey wants. Like man, fuck Mike, man. He don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Get that motherfucker out of here. Set this motherfucker out of here. Just report. Go on your little computer, little HP computer. Sit down. Put your little glasses on. Just go ahead and write.
All right,
we don't want to fucking hear you. We do not want to hear you no more.
Listen, we gotta move on here.
Yeah, we don't want to hear you no.
We gotta move on here because we're running out of time. But hey, a really good call. What do we call you so that you can call back next time? What's your nickname?
Man, I called before a long time ago. I'm Ace, man. I'm Ace.
Ace.
And look, check it out. The other broke ass guy, BDA, he broke. He's mad. Don't call it. Don't pick up his call. He's broke because he likes to parlay.
Well, no, listen. I told him I'd
look, I got a
back.
Rolex. Look, check it out, BDA. I got a Rolex on my arm right now. Worth $5,000-$6,000. I'm not gonna lie. It's worth $5,000-$6,000 right now. I'm looking at my shit. It worth $5,000-$6,000. I do the stock market. Hey, people want to make money. Hey, this is a money move. Put your money on NVIDIA. Put your money on NVIDIA. Put your money on Microsoft right now. That's down and out. Put your money on VUG. Put your money on what else? BTI, man. These are the money moves. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me just tell people. All right. Well, let me just tell people.
The other nigga, he's broke.
We're not an.
He's broke. The other nigga's broke.
We're not an investment channel.
Hold on, BDA. I want to talk about the president, Mark. What do you think about him?
The president.
The president.
Of what?
I mean the prime minister. Y'all voted for Canada. You're from Canada, right?
Yeah, Carney.
Yeah, Carney. What do you think about it? You voted for him?
I'm not going to say whether I did or not, but I'll tell you this: that the system in Canada, the voting system is different from the United States to the point where it's not even worth it to go vote. The way it's structured, the way it's set up, literally your vote doesn't count. So it's not. I mean, it's not. I don't think about this type of stuff. I'm away from that type of stuff. But listen, Ace, I really gotta move on here.
You're liberal, right?
Am I a liberal?
You're liberal.
I'm on certain things.
He's a liberal.
What's that?
He's a liberal.
He's a liberal. He's a liberal.
He's a liberal, right?
He is. Yes, absolutely. It's the Liberal Party of Canada. But listen, Ace, I really got to move on, man, because there's other people calling in. But appreciate your call and call back next time, right, man?
All right, BJ. Have a good time, man. All right.
Have a good night. You too, man. All right. Shout out to Ace. Hey, fellas, don't forget to call in. Give us your thoughts on anything and everything boxing. Let's go to 661. 661. You're on the air. 661. What's on your mind?
Hey, BDA, how you doing? This is John. We spoke, and the last time we spoke was 2 years ago when frickin' this guy Tank Davis knocked out Garcia. I was the guy that called him with the hit and run. I shot it off really fast, and I got off. Anyway, I'm calling back tonight to speak on both things, Haney, frickin' Garcia, and also on this Turkey Al-Sheikh thing. First, there's no conspiracy. Al-Sheikh is honestly just trying to take over boxing. He's already got Queensberry fighting with Matchroom. He's trying to corner the American market. Nobody cares about boxing in America, and that's the truth. It's made bigger, in Europe and everywhere else, okay? So he thinks he can corner the American market by signing all these friggin' young fighters. What he's doing instead is exposing guys. Exposing guys like Jared Anderson, exposing guys like Devin Haney, and tonight, exposing this guy frickin' Garcia, okay? Rolly just sat there with his hand up to his chin all night. Garcia couldn't figure him out. Garcia's been doing this his entire career, knocking out C fighters and maybe low B fighters with that left hook because they can't dodge it. Haney is not good. He never was. What he did tonight against frickin' this guy, The same thing he did against Linares, same thing he did against all these other old fighters that he fought. These guys are not as good as they were projected to be. And that is the problem. We need to see some more of these English fighters, and then you're going to see some real fighting. This guy, freaking Teo is the only guy. He's the only real one. Teo is the only real one. I'd love to see him move up and fight a guy like Boots or fight a guy like Brian Norman. That's what I want to see. I think he is a bit of a head case, but he is the golden child out of all three of them. He is the one. That's my take on that.
Yeah, well, I mean, slight correction. I don't think the Sheik exposed Haney because that was a non-Sheik card when that took place in April 2024. But your point still stands. The fights are competitive.
Right.
He's not allowing, that's why a lot of guys don't want to sign with him. Well, not a lot of guys. Some guys don't want to sign him because they're afraid of going over to Saudi Arabia and losing some of their privilege over there. They don't want to get exposed. So
yeah,
I guess everyone's going to have to fall in line if he's the big money guy. Yeah, if he's the big money guy, they're going to have to fall in line eventually.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, BJ. And, listen, PBC is freaking fantastic. I listen to you guys all the time. I don't think the other guy really knew what he was talking about calling you a liberal, but you have yourself a great evening, man. I hope you guys get some more calls. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye.
Talk to you later, man. Thank you for your call. Take it easy out there. Yeah, no, by the way, Ace didn't call me a liberal. He said he was asking whether Carney was a liberal. And I said, yeah, he's part of the Liberal Party of Canada. Fellas, don't forget to hit the like. It really helps us out. Don't forget to call in. The phone number is right there in the left-hand middle portion of your screen. Let's go to 630. 630, you on the air. 630, what's on your mind?
Me again, man. You just told me to call in 15 minutes later, and you got a lot of UK guys calling in, right, or no? Am I confused?
We got a lot of UK viewers, but no UK callers.
Oh, because the last time I heard was they hating on Ryan and hating on Haney.
I mean, I think I've often gotten accused of that. I criticize a guy and they call me a hater, and then I criticize the other guy and they call me a dick rider. So it's sometimes you can't win. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't like what you're saying. But let's go back to what you were saying, because some people have called in after you, and they really weren't on board with what you're saying. But over here, we give everybody a platform. So I'm curious. What else did you have to say about this? Because you believe, just to recap, you believe that these fights were fixed, all of them. What makes you believe that?
Okay, first of all, it was a weird promotion. Think about it. We're not used to this promotions. When Don King did back in the day in Africa, it was actually a fight, Now you telling me we promoting a fight, we waiting for fight for motherfuckers playing video games? They're playing Street Fighter. I don't know I don't know what the hell they're fighting, but they're playing video games, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I paid for the pay-per-view. I got to see some weird shit. I'm not used to this shit. But I complain about PBC. I complain about Golden Boy cards. I complain about Top Rank. But this I'm like, what did I pay for? Like, what's going on? I was confused. Then suddenly you bring out the fighters coming out of a cab. You know what I mean? And think about it, cab drivers. We give shit about Canelo. I'm Mexican and American, and I love my Mexican fighters and my American fighters. But I give shit to Chavez for fighting a bunch of taxi drivers. And guess how they come out in a taxi cab? Do not come in a taxi cab?
Interesting.
Think about it.
I'm thinking about it.
It's rigged. Like, think about this shit. Like, I give shit the motherfuckers I'm supposed to support, Mexican American or Mexican full-hearted, and they're fighting taxi drivers. Come on. Like, let's be real. Like, and they play video games? Like, what's going on here? Like, this is the first time me seeing this. I know where they're going. They're shooting for a new era of watchers or pay-per-view buyers. But think where they're going.
Well, that's interesting right there, man. I mean, I got to tell you. I'll say this. I'm going to ask you something. Did you share, because you said you went at the fight, you were there in Times Square. Did you share your theory with anybody there?
No. I did not. I did not go to Times Square. I bought the pay-per-view.
Oh, okay. I thought you said that you saw it. Anyway, long story short.
No. So I had to correct you on that, BDA. But no. I wish I did. I was planning to, but even the whole planning, we didn't know. We didn't know if it was open for everybody, and see how it was set up. How was it set up? It was set up lame as fuck. only like if you think about it, only between 500 or 1,000 people were in that little area. Then
Now,
I imagined the whole Times Square to have the big screen showing the fight, and they didn't. They were just advertising Gap, advertising other shit. Like it was just. To me, it was
I think I
not
saw
the way that
I think I saw a trans commercial on the screen. I could be wrong, but I think I saw like a guy dressed like or whatever, you know. But hey, listen, I'm curious. Did you speak about this to anybody else in person? This theory of yours?
Dude, I was literally at a barbershop. I live in Chicago. I was at a barbershop in Chicago. We all pitched in. My boy owns the fucking barbershop. We literally pitched in for the zone, whatever. We were outside grilling when it was raining right here in Chicago. We made it happen, you know, whatever. You know, down in Chicago, it's like we don't know what we're going to get with the weather. We made it happen. But
you made it happen.
Just the fight, everybody put their bets. And we were in there. It's a big barbershop, so we all put the bets. But nobody thought that we all got it right the first two fights, but not the last one.
Oh, interesting.
We all did our own parlays, but none of us got it right with Rolly and Garcia. We all thought Garcia it was an easy win. We thought it was an easy win with Garcia. We all got it wrong.
It happens. It happens. That's all I can say. Well, listen, Ayo, I got to move on here, but thank you for your call and take it easy out there, right, man? Call back next time.
Hey, I'm going to call it the third time. You want me to call it the third time?
As long as it's not 666, because then we're going to have a problem there with the signs and the symbols and everything. But all right, listen, Ayo.
No, you know, hey, hold on. I believe in God. I don't like them. I don't like those fucking numbers neither. But I'm going to call in. I'm going to stay tuned because I like your show. Like and subscribe, BDA #1.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you for the advertisement there. Shout out to you, Ayo. Take it easy out there, man. Thanks for calling in. Have a good night. All right, that was Ayo right there with some interesting insights into his experience watching the fight. Let's go to another phone call. Hey, fellas, don't forget to hit that like, right? Hit that like. It really helps us out, and it takes 2 seconds to do. Let's go to 857. 857, you're on the air. 857, what's on your mind?
Hey, BDA, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, 857. What's up?
BDA, you hear me? All right, man. I got a bunch of things I want to get off my chest. Not even really off my chest, but things I want to talk about.
Absolutely, the floor is yours.
First of all, someone's smoke detector was going off before, and that just threw me off.
I didn't hear that.
The beep, you know.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay, I think I heard. Well, anyway, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. All right. Haney looked like he was still shook up from the Ryan Garcia fight a year ago. He looked like he was afraid to engage with any sort of fighting. And Jose Ramirez also looked super washed. I mean, they stunk out the joint. I'm actually very happy that Rolly actually pulled that off, and it's funny that he dropped Ryan with the left hook.
Double left.
And I thought Teofimo looked amazing. It seems like when Teo has good competition, it seems like he steps it up to them.
Yeah. Well, that's what people say, huh? They say he fights to the level of his opposition. And like you said, hey, it's true. It's ironic that Romero knocked down Ryan Garcia with what? The left hook.
With the left hook, he doubled up on him, yeah.
That's right. Hey, who's in the background giving you notes?
This is my girlfriend, young Kendall.
She watches boxing, huh?
Yeah, man, she's up on it.
Oh,
she loves you too.
Oh, well, of course she would. What's up, Kendall? How you doing, baby?
Good, honey.
But also, I thought that the whole event. I thought the whole event was very cool, in Times Square, how they put that together. You know, I'm sure Oscar was heading out for a couple bumps in between there, but
No, come on. Well, you know what, Kohler? You know what? He did look way too happy during the Garcia fight, even though it wasn't going Garcia's way, and you see him there head bumping to the beat, you know, a big smile on his face. You're right. I think you're right.
Yeah, you got to pop out, and be on the cameras and hit a little bump, you know.
Well, it is New York, right?
But overall, I was very happy that Rolly threw a what do you call it in the apple cart, just to fuck up the whole. They were showing the promo video before of Ryan and Devin, and I liked how Rolly just fucked up all this shit.
I just want to say, can I just say one thing? The one thing I have to say is the fucking upset of Rolly winning. Everyone thought it was the undercard. He came in looking scared. I swear he was gonna cry in that car. It looked like Rolly was gonna cry. And then, no, looking stronger. His stance was stronger, more calm, cool, and collected.
He fought. You know what it was? Yeah. You know what it was, guys? He was fighting with the Holy Spirit inside of him. That's what it was. At the end of the day,
the way that comes in cross.
There you go.
All right.
Well, I mean, he's not quite there yet, but he could be after tonight. He's sort of proven himself. He's got one foot on it. That's for sure.
So where do we think Ryan goes from here?
I don't know. You tell me. Call. Yeah, what do you guys think? You think he fights Teofimo Lopez, even though they're friends or used to be, or what do you think?
Well, I think Teofimo Lopez showed the most skill of anyone on this card tonight.
Absolutely. He's the most accomplished guy, and the guy who can be the most consistent.
Besides that one from Barbosa, he looked like he masterclass.
Hold on, Kendall sounds like.
But him going up to fight Boots, I don't know about that.
I want to ask him about Canelo tomorrow. We'll get to that.
Okay. Well, listen, we're running out of time here, so yeah. What about Canelo?
What about him? He's gonna whoop some motherfucking ass. That's what
wait a minute, Kendall. I mean, I listen. It's late at night and everything, but the language is unnecessary to make your point. But yes, please go ahead.
I'm sorry. He is going to indefinitely show his dominance.
Well, there you go.
He does.
Very erudite right there. Yeah,
not to be disrespectful, but yes, Canelo's gonna show his thing.
Quick question from the panel too, and this is gonna be a weird one. BDA, I've always wondered what you look like.
You've always wondered.
I've never been able to see you.
Well, I gotta tell you, I normally don't do this, but since you guys are so generous there, listening to the show, and I appreciate the call, I'm gonna give you guys an exclusive. This, and I'm gonna show it up on the screen. This is what I look like.
This is like the.
Or about as close to real life as I look like right there. Wingro from Heat. That's me to AT right there. Look at that.
Totally you.
Grim Reaper's coming for you. No, that's not what I look like. I can't pull off that haircut. You need to be a real badass to
pull
off
off that haircut. I hope that's not what you look like, BDA.
Nah.
That's terrifying as it should be.
Well, listen, I look a little better.
I'm gonna let you guys go, but.
Appreciate you.
All right, shout out to you guys. Thank you for your call. Have a good night. Take it easy out there.
Yeah.
All right. That kind of petered out at the end there, but shout out to them for their call. They seem to have enjoyed the fights. And tomorrow, like I was saying, we have more boxing. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Fellas, don't forget to hit the like. Really helps us out. Hit the like. We're at 82 likes. I think at this point we can get it to at least 100. 18 people hit that like and we're golden, all right? Just like that. Bang. See? Bang. 2 seconds, bang, 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 and you hit the like, and we're golden. 18 more people. Do us a favor, please. Help us. All right, let's go to the phone call here. Let's go to 210. 210. Hey, what the fuck? There we go. 210. You're on the air. 210. What's on your mind?
Hey, BDA, if homeboy can call in twice, I can call in twice.
Is this Southpaw again?
Yeah.
What's up?
Nah, man, hey, man, like, that couple was funny, bro. Like, I don't know. Are they trying to rope you in, or what's going on?
Wait a minute. Rope me into what?
You know, there's some weird couples out there, bro.
What are you suggesting?
I like to watch.
I mean, come on, man. I know it's a late night show, but where's this
No,
going?
I'm just joking. I'm joking. Hey, no disrespect to the caller, man. Y'all were a cool couple. But no, like, hey, they sparked off something that was funny to me. Like,
what's that?
Yeah, they sparked off something that was funny because Rolly did look like he wanted to cry when he was in the back of that car. It looked like a kid who just got picked up from school, who like he got like he just got suspended, or he got a bad he got F's on his report card. He knows he's in for it when he gets home. Did you see how he was slumped down in that lowrider?
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, that shit was funny, man. But yeah, that shit was funny, man. But yeah, that was true, man. But yeah, but dude, you need but not them. The other two callers, you need to get them together because one guy sounded like he was into money, knows how to move money, and the other guy, the conspiracy guy, sounds like he doesn't know how to manage money. Because, bro,
come on.
If it was a fix, if it was a fix, they would have had Ryan win, right? They would have had Devin look like amazing, right? Or like a one of those controversial stoppages. So, because they just blew a money fight. So why would they want Ryan to lose? That doesn't make sense.
That's true. Yeah, but that's what I was trying to get. I mean, listen, I'm open-minded, and I wanted to hear him flesh out his theory a little bit more. But his theory was, well, all the fights went at that distance. I'm thinking, okay, well, I wasn't quite there with him, for lack of a better explanation.
Yeah, and another point with Jim Lampley that one other guy did say that was good is that I liked his honesty. Like the fights were boring, and Jim Lampley said they were boring. He said it over and over and over. I think Tarver was a good addition. I like Tarver, but as we were talking about earlier in the other show, they always have some fucking dweebs, bro. Like Mike Coppinger, really? You're gonna have that fucking tard on the cast? Like that's crazy, bro. This guy's corny. But like, at least Jim Lampley, he was kind of like reminding me of the old school HBO days when him and Larry Merchant would call it like it is. If the fight sucked, if the card sucked, if the production sucked, they would say it sucked. And it's not a good look for the brand. I get it, but they're being honest. And fans, that's why HBO was such a titan. They were so respected because they told it like it is. You know, it's not like UFC. Have you ever watched UFC? I can't stand UFC, but when you watch it, every fight they call, they're saying, "Oh my God, this is so amazing. This is probably the greatest fight. This is probably the greatest fight of all year." Like,
you still there, Southpaw? Southpaw? All right. Oh, wait a minute. Fellas, hold on a second. I think the phone lines got screwed up here. Hold on a second.
Ready to connect. Click connect to show now. You are connected as the host.
All right. Sorry
Welcome,
about that.
Host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
Blah, 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 blah.
They're that new era of, they're entitled. And we got to break that.
Well, listen,
we got to break that. But that's all I got, man. I just wanted to call in because the other guy called in, so I was like, "Fuck it,
I apologize, but the call, the phone lines went down for about 30 seconds, so I missed kind of what you said. But yeah, I do have to move on here because we're getting a whole bunch of calls, man. So shout out to you, man. Thank you, Thank you for calling in. All right, thank you for calling in, man.
Take it easy, bro.
You too, man. Take it easy, man. Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there with the phone lines. But anyway, we're back, and if we went out, just refresh your stream, fellas. Refresh your stream. Let's go to a phone call here. Let's go to 510. You on the air? 510. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Devin Haney. Shout out to Romero. Everybody thought Ryan Garcia was going to. Even Ryan Garcia thought he was going to beat Romero and then go to Haney and do the same thing. There should be no doubt that Garcia was on some PEDs now. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting theory right there. It's interesting though.
It's not a theory at all. It's not a theory at all. It's not a theory at all because he pleaded guilty.
Right.
And that's why he was he was banned for a whole year. So it's not theorized.
Well, you said that now it's clear that it was. You said now it was clear that the PEDs did him in.
Yeah, because you got a lot of fanboys on Ryan Garcia, and you talk about theorizing.
they keep stating that Haney was knocked out. He was never knocked out. It actually went to the distance, and with the exception of that first round, Haney was winning every round except for the rounds that he got knocked down in. And now it should be no contesting why that even happened.
Well, I think there is a little contesting, but hey, I'm curious. Now that this whole thing has been overturned, the rematch that was planned, is there any point in doing a rematch? Where do you think Haney should go from here?
I would like to see Haney fight either Tank, if Tank isn't scared, or possibly Shakur.
Well, Shakur's team, that's the thing. Shakur's team just got Cepeda in the summer. They're saying Tank Davis versus Roach are going to rematch in the summer as well. So if those things were to happen with Haney, I suspect it would be sometime in the fall or maybe even early winter. So hopefully we keep our fingers crossed and we hope that happens. Because again, if they keep doing these stay busy fights, marinating the fights, we just saw tonight what can happen when they go down that road. So yeah, hopefully that they make it happen. What about Teofimo Lopez? Who do you want to see him fight next?
T.O. Shoot. Boots.
Whoa.
I think, I would like to see Boots really step up his resume. He looked good, but you can always look good against people who's not, real competition.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. I don't know. Lopez has been calling him out. We'll see if he continues to do so after. Actually, he did continue to call him out tonight. So maybe he's serious about it. I don't know. We'll see if Boots can stay. Okay, I got to ask you one. Yeah.
Well, God bless for people like Turkey, because you can't say so and so is across the street anymore. If people really want to, get in there and fight, he's going to make it happen.
Well, I got a question for you. Who would you rather see Who would you rather see Boots fight, Lopez or Norman? The fuck?
Norman talks.
Caller, are you there? Don't tell me the phone lines went down again.
Can you?
Okay, I can hear you.
Yeah, Norman, he talks a good game. If we're talking about sensationalism, it sounds good. I want to see Boots actually fight T.O. first. You know what I mean?
Just because it would be a bigger fight, or?
Absolutely.
There you go. You're thinking ahead. You're thinking big time. I like that. Yeah, we need a little excitement.
Matter of fact, actually, I would like to see Boots fight Virgil.
Oh yeah. In terms of
you know what I mean?
Yeah, in terms of actual boxing, people fighting, closer to their weight size and all that. Yeah, but in terms of what would actually,
absolutely.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, it would create the Lopez fight would create some fireworks, but it's a guy who's still at 140 versus a guy who's 147, probably on the way up. So yeah, you're right. There's still he's got a bunch of options, so that's good. That's good for boxing. All right, well, listen, caller, we got to move on here, but thank you for your call and call back next time. All right, take it easy.
Right on.
All right, have a good night.
Peace.
All right, don't forget to hit that like, fellas. Hit the like. Really helps us out. Let's go on a phone call here. Let's go to 669. 669. What's on your mind?
Yo, Mr. BDA.
I can barely hear. Is it Nightmurph? Or who is this?
Yo, Mr. BDA. What's up?
Yeah, I can. Are you on the Bluetooth?
Let me see. How about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. What's up?
I think this was a setup. Hear me out on this.
Uh-oh.
I think Turkey was set up by the boxing promoters to look bad.
Wait. Oh, you're saying Hearn, De La Hoya...
I know. Hear me out on this. Trust me.
Yeah.
Turkey wants to get rid of the sanctioning belts, right? He wants to get rid of the WBO, whatever, WBC, all that stuff, right?
Right.
Those people are partners with who? With the promoters, right? The promoters and the belts always help each other out. I mean, just look at Tim Tsz's career. That's a pretty good example.
Uh-huh.
I'm almost sure the reason why they wanted this card to fail, I mean, Oscar de la Hoya's fighters, all 3 lost. Somehow he was smiling and happy about this. Isn't that strange to you at all?
I did find it strange that the lawyer was smiling from ear to ear, but then I just chalked it up to like what the other caller said, that maybe he took a couple of breaks to go to the bathroom and, you know what I mean, ingest a couple of powder his nose, in other words.
I mean, that is a possibility, but I would not put it past the boxing promoters and the boxing organization, the sanctioning bodies, to want Turkey to fail in America so he doesn't come here and like mess up what they have going on, because they have a good rack going on. They make a lot of money through the belts.
Yeah, that's a good point, but at the same time, why would they why would the lawyer say, oh yeah, I'm going to sacrifice Ryan Garcia to appeal? I mean, unless
he doesn't like him.
What's that?
I mean, they've had public arguments like before. He doesn't like him.
Yeah, maybe.
I remember they had a huge, yeah.
I mean, it makes some sense what you're saying, but like I was telling Ayo, I need a little bit more evidence to flesh out the theory. I'm open-minded. I'm weighing the possibility, but I'm undecided right now.
I know. I'm just throwing it out there. But here's a pretty good indicator. If Turkey does another card with an American card and it also does bad, then you start realizing something's going on here.
Uh-huh. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe they don't want him to do business here. Keep the business in Saudi Arabia. Because they don't want the racket to, go dry.
I'm curious to confer with the rest of the panelists, the regular panelists, to see what they think. Because you're the second person now who's coming up with a theory about this. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. But
you saw statistically, these are some of the worst fights we've seen in a long time. Number 3 lowest. What was it? Number 3 lowest punch output in a championship fight since we started keeping record.
Well, I mean, look, listen. Barbosa generally makes for uneventful fights. Teofimo Lopez is not a
that was a Ryan Raleigh fight.
But what I'm saying is, I'm talking about, to your point, yes, the fights were boring, but at the same time, for example, Barbosa Lopez a counterpuncher, Barbosa is a guy who makes for uneventful fights. Haney, we know he's a king, one of the kings of uneventful fights. Ryan Garcia Romero, that was the one that probably offered the more fireworks. And it's true that it was boring. But then again, Ryan Garcia, he was also shell-shocked a little bit against Tank Davis. Even in that Haney fight, there were a lot of rounds where he was doing a whole bunch of nothing. And Rolly Romero, too, when he fought Marinez, for example. It was a similar fight, not a lot going on. So that could explain why the boring performances.
Yeah, I mean, that is the logical solution, but I'm saying boxing, how long have we been watching boxing? There's a lot of corruption in the sport.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, maybe the truth is somewhere between what you say and what I say. I feel
I'll consider it. That's for sure.
I'm just saying, Oscar de la Hoya probably is going to buy a bunch of powder with the money.
Nah, come on.
He probably took a bet against. I'm just saying, he probably took out a bet against Rotten. I'm not. Hey, I wouldn't put it past that guy. He's a scumbag.
Well, maybe. I don't know, man. But listen, I got to move on here. But who was this, by the way? Again,
he's going to buy that cocaine.
All right, who is this, by the way? Because you sound familiar.
It's Vessel.
Who?
Vessel. I'm a little on
Vessel,
the rocker
Vessel,
right now myself, but
All right, Vessel. Yeah. All right, Vessel. Take it easy out there. Thank you for calling in, man. Have a good night.
All right, take care. Bye.
You too, man. Hey, fellas, don't forget to hit that like. I said it like about half an hour ago. The likes, where we at? With 92 likes. Come on, let's get it to 100 likes. 8 people now hit that like, and we're golden. Golden. Right now, we're silver. Not even. We're bronze. 8 people hit that like. Come on, fellas. Otherwise, I'm not going for the phone calls here. I got no incentive to go to the phone calls if we don't get 100 likes. 8 more people hit that like. Please. That's all I ask. I don't ask for much. Let's go to some of the super chats here. Hold on a second. Shout out to Gonzalo for his contribution with the super chat. I already read that one, but shout out to Gonzalo for this one. He says, Prime Chavez KOs Haney, KOs Ryan, and beats all of them. So would Oscar. Prime Chavez KOs Haney. I mean, yeah. And Oscar. I was telling Bucho this because I know Recognize used to joke around that Ryan Garcia was Oscar's illegitimate child. And he does kind of look facially a little bit like Oscar de la Hoya. However, Oscar de la Hoya, real amateur pedigree, shotgun jab. Even though his right hand was weak, he would still throw it. Just a completely different level of fighter. a better chin than Garcia, better fundamentals all around. These guys, these so-called four kings, they weren't it. Lopez, at least, maybe he is it, but all the other guys, nah. Shout out to Gonzalo again for his contribution with the super chat. He says, I think Munguia and Suraj is an intriguing rematch. Well, it wouldn't be intriguing if not for the first fight, right? But yeah, I'm looking forward to it tomorrow to see if it was a fluke or if Munguia, who was never really that big a deal, was actually even worse than expected. Shout out to Chichi. Shout out to Chichi Getayeyo. He says, the best, hearing Lampley call a fight again. You know what? Near the end of his HBO tenure, he was actually getting all of them. Kellerman, who I never liked, and Roy Jones, who I did like. But him and Lampley were sort of falling a little bit too much in love with some of their fighters. But as hearing Lampley again was a breath of fresh air. Nobody can do it like Lampley. Real quick, stay on the phone lines. But real quick, when Lampley was calling the fight, and he goes... he couldn't say that Haney was shell-shocked from the Garcia loss because it wasn't a loss technically. So he just called it the nightmare. Maybe he's shell-shocked from the Ryan Garcia nightmare. I said, that's a great selection of word. And then Garcia is, they're showing the crowd rather. They're all animated. And he goes, a highly animated crowd. Other people would have gone on with a longer phrase like, oh, look at that crowd, or look at the crowd jumping up and down. He just goes, highly animated crowd. I think he said energetic. And then when he says about Ryan Garcia, phenomenal crowd appeal, he just puts the words together. Again, he's very, very, very erudite, which is another word I used before. But hey, I'm not as erudite as Jim Lampley. What do you want from me? But shout out to Jim Lampley and shout out to Chichi Getayeyo for that. And shout out to Gonzalo again for his contribution with the super chat. You didn't have to do it, Gonzalo, but we appreciate it. He said, all of a sudden, girls like Rolly. Of course, he beat Ryan. Oh, so Gonzalo's saying that because Romero beat Garcia, he's going to take the mantle of the Instagram king. Maybe. You just never know. Where we are with the likes here? 109 likes. Fantastic, fellas. Thank you to all those people who hit the like. Really appreciate it. We get to go back to the phone calls here. Let's go to the phone calls. Let's go to the phone lines right now. Let's go to 301. 301, you're on the air. 301. What's on your mind?
BDA.
Oh.
Well, since Lampley's here and we're reminiscing of different eras, I think it's only appropriate to say about these woeful performances, and I looked at the CompuBox numbers.
Sure.
Through the 36 rounds, neither A or B side combined for 1,000 punches apiece.
Nah.
That's really dreadful. I mean, the last two fights in particular, I mean, I thought the opening card was a slow pace, but the last two, I mean, what else can you say? We're not even cracking 250 apiece. It is great to have Lampley there. Like you said, who would have thought that the blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy who had a tenure in the TV in the 70s has a better way with words than Sergio Mora? I would not have expected that.
Real surprising, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that wordsmith, Sergio Mora and Chris Mannix. I mean, I'm sure there's a few people who missed their insight. But, yeah, I mean, these guys, what can you say? They don't have good fundamentals, point blank, right? They can't really move forward, it seems, which kind of makes you appreciate Canelo, even at his advanced age. He's fighting guys who are not really up to his level, but they are bigger, and he is hunting them down, and he's not getting hit while doing it. You can't say that about any of those fighters on the card today, despite their benefits of youth. Especially Lopez, right? He looked the best on the card, but who was he fighting? He was fighting a very lackluster, workman-like guy who skated by his last 4 decisions, by the hair on his back. And he looked useless for large parts of that fight. He couldn't close the distance at all. And he did all these weird bending at the waist movements, getting hit on his way out. I think that looks really lame. When you try to be flashy and then you get punched, you're ducking and weaving excessively and then you get hit. It just really ruins the whole effect of your defense. I am remiss, though, that we're not getting this Haney-Garcia fight, because with the prospect of Lampley being on the commentary, reminds me of when Eubanks Sr. I told Eddie Hearn at the press conference, I think for the Golovkin fight or something like that. He was like, Edwards who would be on the commentary for this fight? Like, the commentary, who cares about that? Is it Barry McQuiggan? Is Barry McQuiggan to be on the commentary of this fight?
What?
Like, why does that matter? Because Barry McQuiggan was doing the commentary for my fight with Nigel Benn. But with Lampley there, with Turkey, you have the potential of him doing that same line that he dropped again during Barrera Hamed.
That's true, yeah.
And Allah spell Barrera B-A-R-R-A.
B-A-R, yeah.
You can do that with Garcia. Looks like Allah knows how to spell Garcia.
That pissed George Foreman off, I remember.
Oh yeah, Big George was like, "Yeah, you can't say that. That's not right."
Foreman told him.
That's a terrible thing to say.
Foreman told him, "I don't think you like it." No, because when Barrera later shoved Hamed's face onto the turnbuckle, and then Jim Lampley says, "George, I don't think he likes him," and then George Foreman goes, "I don't think you like him either," and Lampley goes, "I like him fine." No, and then Foreman immediately goes, "No, you've said some things that I don't think you like him," and then there was like a stone cold silence for about 30 seconds. I bet you the guys in the truck had to separate them or something. But yeah, that was one of the golden moments. That was one of the golden moments of
That was good, yeah. That was almost as good as when I think Jesse Vargas fought a guy named Titsworth, who kissed him in the middle of the fight.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like Titsworth tried to kiss Vargas, and Vargas proceeded to beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, he used the word shit for one of the few times I've ever heard Lampley curse. But yeah, man, that was the heyday.
Yeah.
Those were nowadays. If
that
somebody
was a
uses
great moment.
Nowadays, if somebody uses a little salty language, they have to put on a disclaimer, and then the commentator has to apologize. We apologize for the language. It's like, what? What are we doing here? Is this the Cartoon Network? I don't get it.
Yeah, for the next broadcast, they have to get an overweight, blue-haired woman to do like the lip reading thing for the rest of the broadcast for symbology when that happens. So they have standard protocol by the FCC.
That's true.
But yeah, that was it's a dreadful card. Not looking good for the future of, I guess, U.S. boxing or boxing in general.
Listen,
just another night.
I'll say this, man. I'll say this. It was tomorrow we got more fights. We got Bacoli, we got Inoue. Even Canelo's expected to knock this guy out. So at least it can't be worse than today. And hopefully I'm not jinxing it, but hey, it is what it is. Well, listen, Irish Andrew Ward, man, we got to move on here. But thank you for your call, and call back next time, all right?
Well, yes, but since you mentioned Canelo, I often joke that he's the winner of the event. And I do think it's going to be a case this weekend because he will have a lot of eyes on him, anticipating him to deliver a sensational knockout. And I think he will do that in seek and destroy fashion. Kind of like when he did against James Kirkland, like the week after Pacquiao-Mayweather. I think that helped build his reputation because we got like a real wet sack of shit. And then
come on.
He delivered a nice, exhilarating performance. Oh yeah, I know. Me wounded, but this is BDA after hours. I mean,
after dark,
a little bit can slide here and there.
We'll see. Yeah, well, maybe for you, just for you. All right, Irish, we got to move on here, but thank you for your call. Call back next time, right, man?
All right, BDA. You keep chugging along there, Grandpa. All right.
Grandpa, what's the matter with you? All right, take it. Now I really got to go. Take it easy, man. Thank you for the call. Have a good night. All right, that was Irish Andrew Ward. And listen, Canelo, I think he needs money, man. He needs all the money he can get. People were pointing out the fact that he's running out of hair, which I find it hard to believe that he still has hair. All his relatives, all his brothers, all his father, they're all bald. Meanwhile, he still has hair. And then this video surfaced the other day.
Mascarilla del campeón de 24 quilates, como cada año. Oro para el campeón.
I thought this was AI at first.
Como cada pelea más bien. Así es.
I mean, that is a bad. People always talk about that the age-old debate. Did he dog Benavides? Didn't he dog? That look is that's worse than any allegation of dunking anybody could ever muster. Let's go to our phone call here. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. Real helps out. Let's go to 630. What's on your mind? 630.
Hey. BBA is BAO again. So you gonna tell me he went from Cambuterol now to losing hair? You need hair now?
That's what they're saying. That's what it looks like.
Hey, that's the future for Ryan Garcia. The PDE, all the Austrian he taking.
Well, hey, there's a video of Ryan Garcia crying in a car after the fight. And I'm thinking you should have put all.
He was crying in the car. Hey, he was crying in the car when he went to the fucking to the fight. You know how to do them. You know how to do them. They the zone. You know how Turkey LSU make them do. You know what I mean? They make them humiliate themselves. Because let's be real, Turkey LSU, it wasn't good for boxing.
Hey, you know what? Okay, let me say this. Ayo, let me say this. Ayo, let me say this.
Wilder, what happened?
Ayo, let me say this.
Ayo,
can you hear me? Somebody agreed with you earlier. Sir. Somebody said, and I think they might have added the last piece of the puzzle, or one of the pieces of the puzzle that you were missing. Maybe all the promoters on the card conspired against the Sheik to make this a shit event, because they're afraid that he's going to take over boxing. And in other words, the promoters conspired with the alphabet groups.
I heard that one. That was like four calls away that he said that it was basically like, and I was going to call in like, dude, the conspiracy continues. Because he's in that, look, think about it. Right now, he's in the plane, private plane, sleeping to see Canelo fight tomorrow. Because he gets to say at 5 o'clock in the morning. So literally, he's sleeping right now.
Maybe.
Turkey Sheik is sleeping in his plane to see Canelo fight at 5 o'clock in the morning in his time. That motherfucker got money up the ass. He's wiping his fucking ass with $1 million fucking toilet paper.
Maybe
you know
you're
what I'm
right.
Saying?
I know what you're saying.
Maybe you know that. Hey, come on, BD. We know Turkey got his money. Ain't no issue to him. Money. He was born with money. That's right true. Here. What, dude? I never seen the Zone promote a fucking video game the way they promote a video game today at this pay-per-view event.
That's a good point right there, man. You're adding. I'm telling you, you're adding a lot of.
I keep bringing shit up, and everybody that calls in, it keeps telling you like, "Come on."
I mean, listen,
BDA.
We're gonna do a kumite one of these days. We're gonna do an open panel, and you're gonna host it, and you're gonna go after all these people, man. You're gonna let them come up with their questions, and you're gonna answer them. All right, man. Because right now we're running out of time here.
You got me, BDA?
I listen.
You got me?
You're starting to get me.
When you want to do it? Because I know I follow you guys. And I appreciate if I feel like if you think that I got the impact of a theory of boxing, I'm glad to be in your panel. That will be that to me will be, you know what I mean, like it'd be cool. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, you set up the time. As everybody's listening, let the time in the day know so I can call in and we'll make it happen.
We would be happy to have you, Ayo. It would actually be a special event to have you. But listen, Ayo, we got to move on, man, because we got a whole bunch of calls. So thank you for your call and call back next time, right, man? Take it easy. We'll stay in touch.
All right.
All right, man. Take it easy. Let's go to a phone call. Let's go to 401. 401. You're on the air. 401. What's on your mind?
So shut the fuck up.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Bitch. Kidding.
401, you're on the air. What's 401? Can you hear me? You're on the air.
So,
yeah.
Hey, so it's Kendall.
Oh, Kendall. All right.
Yes, I had one more point to make. You just caught me as like. No, I'm not angry at all. It's totally fine. But.
Well, what's going on there?
My main point was just Rolly. Huh?
What's going on between you and your significant other there?
Oh, no. There's nothing. That wasn't even that. That is neither nobody's business. What I called for was about how back in the day, Rolly and Ryan sparred.
Mm-hmm.
So hear me out. And then everyone has Ryan as the undercard. I mean, Rolly undercard.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan's supposed to be the big King Ryan. And why are you laughing at me? You got something to say now?
Oh, I mean,
my main, all right. So my main point. Let's get to the business.
Usyk, all right.
Everyone. I've been reading the comments. About how all these big fighters and stuff. But pound for pound, Usyk, is he not? We're talking boxing, right?
I believe so, yes.
Usyk. Yes. Usyk.
So what about Usyk?
What do you feel about Usyk? His upcoming fight.
Yes.
I know that's in the future, but I mean, come on. And you can totally cut me. Daniel Dubois is like, I don't know.
Hey, by the way, the way you were talking to your significant other, everyone heard it. So I think you guys need to make up on the phone. We need to hear you say that everything's okay, and that way nobody has to call. Nobody has to call. We don't want people calling the police to have to make a courtesy.
The thing is too, everyone heard like the end part of it, which oh, she's a female. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, listen, you insulted him a little bit.
Because I wanted him to get on the. I wanted him to get back on the line.
Is that right? Well, now you're on the line. So, but you insulted him a little bit.
No. You insulted him a little bit. You got a little out of order yourself.
A little bit. I did a lot of it, and I take it back and I apologize.
Well, you need to apologize, but just as long as you two listen. This type of union is performed under God, under the auspices of God and the Holy Spirit. So it's a holy union that needs to transpire in a way that's beneficial to both parties. So it's too late at night for you to get.
I love that very much.
Well, I love you too, but
I'm not ready to get married.
Well, I mean, listen. Then you're living in sin. Then that's all I can say.
All right, well, I might commit a couple of sins.
All right, we're gonna end this phone call. I'm so sorry to bore your time.
Well, no. It was an interesting call. It's a little bit of everything here at the BDA show. You guys can call in, of course. There's no judgments here.
Hey, look.
No, I honestly, he's one of your biggest fans. He calls in all.
Kind of like to see herself in the chat right there.
I'm not gonna lie, I did. But we didn't call about that. I legit.
But
so I did.
Of course, the BDA gospel. We love.
What do you think about Ryan Garcia, Javante in the mix?
We already seen that.
Ryan Garcia's got to prove to the people that he still has it. He's got to prove to the people that he can even come back from this. He was crying in a car. I don't know what excuse he's going to come up.
Well, thank you. Not to cut you off. I'm sorry. Continue.
I'm waiting for which excuse he's going to come up with next. Because I never really had too much faith in him.
My main point is, if this isn't a wake-up call for him, like, he just had a year off. You had a year off, and you just fucking...
Oh, wait.
Sorry, you just blew it. You blew it. You didn't, so clearly you don't take boxing seriously. Now that you just lost to Rolly, who everyone thought was an undercard, if you don't take this seriously, then you have... No one's going to respect you. So where do you stand? Where do you think Ryan stands from here? Not even you in general.
Well, then who?
It's wild
listen,
to me.
Kendall and the significant other. Let's be real. Ryan Garcia has speed. He's got power, but he never really had it. After his biggest win against Luke Campbell, he retires.
Yeah.
Then he loses to Tank Davis, and he goes, "Oh well, I wasn't training properly." Then he fights Haney, and he didn't even train properly for that one either. But he managed to pull it out of his ass. So this is a dude that you cannot trust. I don't trust him. And let me tell you something. I don't like 100%. The potty mouth. I don't like the potty mouth from either.
Social media star.
100%. And that's the thing, too, that I wanted to bring up. So now Rolly fought. Is this the real Ryan? He's not on any enhancing, substances. This is the real Ryan. So Ryan's got nothing to give. You just had a year off. Come on.
Well, listen. I'll finish with this because we got to move on here. But he's got speed, he's got power, he's got some skills, but he doesn't put them together most of the time. He can still be dangerous. He's going to be dangerous.
So I hope this is this better be a wake-up call for Ryan is what I'm getting at. I have hope for Ryan, but he's got to wake the fuck up.
We'll see.
And that's all I have to say. Thank you for hearing me.
Real quick while I got you guys, where does Rolly go from here? Because this is a shot into the arm to Rolly's career.
Rolly doesn't even know what he wants.
First of all, I don't think.
Shot an arm to Rolly's career.
Rolly doesn't know where he is right now. I don't think he understood that he won. They asked him, "How do you feel about the victory?" He's go,
that's for real. This was not in his cards. This was.
Hey, well,
he doesn't know where he is.
He deserves it.
He's at the park right now on the swings.
He deserves it, in my opinion.
He's in the park right now on the swings, laughing his ass off because he's happy now. He got his reward to go to the park tonight. Listen, fellas, we got to move on here. Kendall and significant other, we got to move on. the calls are piling up.
All
But
right,
thank you for
guys,
your call.
Thank you for the call.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Stop fighting.
Thank
There you go. That was Kendall and significant other. I think she was using him as a punching bag. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. That's the way it sounded to me. Fellas, let's go to the phone lines. Let's continue on the night here. Let's go to 619. 619, you're on the air. 619, what's on your mind? 619, you're on the air. 619, you're on the air. Going once. Hopefully my phone lines aren't fucked up. 619, you're on the air. Ah, man. Hopefully we didn't keep you on too long, because I know that person was waiting too long. All right. Let's move on to another phone call here. Let's go to 929. 929, you're on the air. 929, what's on your mind?
What's up, BDA? You know, that last caller, he sounded like Norm MacDonald, the drunk guy.
A little bit, eh?
Yeah.
A little bit.
But yo, let me just say this real quick. I think Turkey's next card should be a public beheading.
Come on.
Live on the zone. After
right.
that trash ass card, bro, all them fighters except Rolly and TL, he could be alive.
Mm-hmm.
Should get beheaded, bro. I'm sorry, that's terrible.
On my
too much backflip bitching, not enough punching, and just an all around shit show, man. I'm sorry.
Wait.
These guys aren't it.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts on, Garcia. Listen, I'm pretty sure you fall in line with a lot of what we're saying. Garcia, we know what he's about. He was never that consistent. Haney, we know he stinks out the joints, so he's consistent with his boring attitude and style. But what about Teofimo Lopez? What do you think about that fight? Because that was the most important fight, at least in title-wise, on the card. What do you think of it?
I think he saved his career because he was about to be written off had he lost to Barbosa.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy that was chasing after him, and he called him a bum at first. And I'm thinking, yo, what was that about? Aren't you supposed to prove that you're better than him? Instead of just talking all the shit? But now he's vindicated.
In a way,
yeah. Man. No. I listen. He's vindicated. Like I don't think he could beat Boots at the moment, but I think a little bit of training from Reynoso could help him also, because he still has the athleticism. But listen, he saved his career. He was about to be written off. If he lost to him, that's just my honest opinion of him. But yo, David, I don't want to hear this guy talking shit or smiling, fake smile in front of the camera, fake laughter now that the camera's on him. Bullshit, bro. You shit the bed too, bro. Taking it towards the turnbuckle, man. Listen, this guy has a future in the fucking NASCAR with so many laps this guy ran.
Well, listen, he shit the bed just like he shit his pants. He shit the bed just like he shit his pants last year. So, like I said, he's consistent. He's consistent at least. Anything else? Anything else you want to say, Virtuoso, before we move on?
I just hope tomorrow's card is going to be better. Just to wash the bad taste out of my mouth.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm right there with you, Virtuoso. All right. Well, listen, man. Anything else you want to say?
Man, listen, man. I still have hope for American boxing. It's all on Keyshawn. It's all on Doodle Mason. That's if they don't become evils, which they will. But they're much better fighters than those guys.
Yeah, hopefully. All right. Well, listen, Virtuoso. Thank you for your call, man, and the call back next time, man. Take it easy. Have a good night. Peace. All right. Let's go to 619 is calling back. 619, you're on the air. 619, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, 619. I can hear you, man. Is this Jose?
This is Gonzalo.
Jeez, Luis. Gonzalo, what's up, man?
Yeah. No, you're actually primed for, I had a joke the second time, but no. Look, listen, man, I appreciate you staying up because, most of the time I'm working in the daytime. But anyways, interesting calls, man, from Southpaw. He's very witty, knowledgeable. Southpaw's always eating dinner with the fighters for some fucking crazy reason. He knows all of them. Anyways, and the fucking conspiracies. Look, man, did Ryan lose star potential because of this? Or where does he go from here? Clearly, it's a Devin Haney rematch because Devin Haney was like the Bad News Bears, like the loser, but now he still performed bad, but he won. The Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia still a good fight. And if he beats him, then the rematch with Rolly lucked out. He's doing well. Obviously, he's got a good base, and he's strong as fuck. And shout out to him because he acted gracious in victory and humble. So, like, now he's like the new Ryan. He didn't still mental as a player, but I could see, like, like the dude fucking, for a guy that was, like, I always criticize his boxing, he held Ryan off. He catched him with the perfect punch. But anyways, as far as tomorrow and the next day I'm going to the card, dude, it was like an interesting show. I really liked it. And
really?
Hey, man, the Turkey's the biggest loser, but he's got all the money in the world. So that's kind of like an interesting thing because he's trying to get pushed out of boxing, but then he's got all the money. What can money buy you? But then again, it's also like Pro Box. They're jumping for joy too, but even though they got the less budget. It was a cool show, man. I learned a lot.
Hey, but Gonzalo, you know what's interesting?
Later.
Gonzalo, you know what's interesting? When you got that as much money as a Sheik, there's no such thing as failures. It's just only speed bumps until he gets what he wants. Because he's just going to keep throwing money at that. But also, it's interesting, Gonzalo. People are saying, Ryan Garcia is... he can come back, just like he came back from the... Because remember, after he lost the Tank, people were saying, he quit, he's a quitter. To me, I don't know what you think, but isn't this more egregious to lose to a guy who only recently learned how to speak in Rolly Romero?
Well, dude, like, he was one of the times where the Mike Coppinger, like, somebody compared him to Ricardo Mayorga. He's not like Ricardo, but I would have to say that now I know that Rolly's stronger than what I believed. But let's not act like he didn't turn some shit performances where he deserved to lose against Martinez and he got knocked out 2-3 times before. So I'm kind of even questioning if Ryan can put up with the speed of a freaking blown up Pitbull Cruz. Because Pitbull Cruz should be 135. And something that really like highlights the point that I don't think Ryan Garcia's chin was ever there. Because if it was there, then you could still give him the benefit of the doubt that it was like, because he's been boxing ever since he was a little kid too. But if he was to react like Oscar De La Hoya or particularly like Tito Trinidad, when you get dropped, you get up, and you're like, he didn't show that for this one time. He didn't pull the trigger, and somebody was just saying, he's throwing I didn't see him throw a lot of left hooks. He got shell-shook or something was wrong. Maybe the Ostering, it's not even a conspiracy because he looked weaker this fight, looked a little more flatter. Of course, I wasn't paying attention, but I was paying attention to what the people were saying. And obviously, some people, when they're saying it, they probably know more than I or particularly care to pay attention to the details that matter, which should not be discounted. But nowadays, you don't know what's actually true. But he did look a little bit more drawn out or something.
Right.
Jimmy would be the specialist on that. But as far as the power, so that means that when he faces guys that are just as big as Rolly, that power's not there because he can't trade with those guys. He's only willing to walk down 130, 35 pounders for his career. That's just all things that bring into question Ryan Garcia. Of course, he can bounce back because he's got star potential and the sense that people are going to write it off. The casuals don't fucking care. So by the pay-per-views. Because, Rolly won. But then Ryan, and if Haney's career is to be salvaged, it was like down in the dumps. But then if Ryan's is not that great either now, well, the name carries the fight to where it's more competitive because a lot of people want to see Haney win.
Yes, true.
But at the same time, they're still competitive. But something's missing to where I did not see Ryan be an elite fighter. And then again, he's not a world champion. He never has been.
That's right.
So who did perform? Who was the winner overall? Teofimo Lopez. Two-time undisputed, always performing well against greater fight, getting up for the moment because at least Barboza wasn't defeated and stuff like that. No, but anyways, hopefully they don't run up Pro Box out of boxing because it's good. And if you want to make it all about money, he's trying to deliver the good fights, but then they haven't always panned out. And like somebody was saying, maybe they're trying to run him out of boxing. That's kind of like an interesting conspiracy. But anyways, interesting show.
All right, shout out to you guys. Take it easy, man. We'll talk later, man. Have a good night.
Later. Good night.
All right, that was Gonzalo right there. Don't forget to hit the like, fellas. Hit the like. We're still taking phone calls here. Let's go to 630. 630. You're on the air. 630. What's on your mind?
Well, you know, it's AO. And shout out to Gonzalo.
Wait a minute, AO.
Caller and, hey, what happened? You want me to call or what? You remember
I
Skinner?
mean, people were joking on the chat. Oh, AO is going to call back again. That's AO. The next call, it's AO. And then it is.
Why not? Dude, you always cut me off with the conspiracies. It's like you against the conspiracy.
I told you we're going to do a special show where you can jump in and give us your, whatever it is, that new insights that you've gleaned about this conspiracy.
Okay. So we're gonna leave off today that we already seen what we're gonna see. We still got 2 more nights. We still got Canelo's gonna fight in Saudi Arabia in a couple of hours. Right now he's sleeping. I think he's waking up. He's barely waking up right now as we speaking.
I think
getting ready. You know what I mean? So and Turkey Ali Sheik is flying over there. He's halfway there. And we're gonna get another big fight. Maybe a couple upsets. You know what I mean? We got Battle Jack, we got Canelo, we got Munguia rematch, and then Sunday we still got Japan on top.
That's right. You're right. Yeah. Hey, by the way, I'm curious, Ayo, where are you gonna watch tomorrow's fight?
Oh, about the bundle.
Oh, okay. So you again at home?
Yeah. I watched the undercards at home. Then I shoot out to a local bar that has it live.
Oh, okay. So you saw the. And how much did you see at home, and how much did you see in the bar?
I watched Teofimo and I watched Haney at the house. Then literally the bar where I'm at is literally 10 minutes. So I barely got there for the first round.
Oh, interesting. And it's not that far away from your home then?
No.
Now, wait a minute. Did you walk to the bar or did you drive? Or did you get a ride? How did you make it to the bar?
Dude, I can walk if I want to, but I drive. But that's not neither here or there. The point is that tomorrow Canelo Alvarez might get an upset. We might see Skull. Look, let's think about it. We talk about conspiracy now, right? Turkey got this little contract with these motherfuckers. Supposedly, if Canelo Alvarez, we're supposed to see Crawford in September. That's what he's trying to set up. And guess what he's trying to set up? He was trying to set up Ryan Garcia for the rematch for Haney. And guess what?
What's that?
Sometimes if a motherfucker wants a duck, he can throw the fucking flag. He can throw a fight. Does that look like a throwing the fight?
Well, I don't know now. Now you're saying, wait, hold on. So now you're going to have your magnifying glass on all these fights and think you're going to be looking for things to see if anything's askew.
Dude, let's be real. How did okay, who's having the next undisputed heavyweight? Usyk versus who?
Dubois. That is the fight that's next, right?
Dubois literally got sick when Justin Porter. It was Justin Porter or Justin. What's his name? Justin Porter or what's his name again?
Who? What?
Okay, that guy Dubois.
Right.
He pulled out just like fucking Austin Kidd pulled out that fight, and both of them pulled out the fight.
Yeah.
So how you gonna tell me he's gonna fight for the heavyweight undisputed, but not the guy that actually fought and deserves it?
Yeah, you're talking about Joseph Parker. Yeah, he was supposed to fight Joseph Parker.
Yes, Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker actually did not get sick, took the fight, beat the guy, and he's supposed to be hosting Usyk because that was the whole deal. But when the deal doesn't go down the way Turkey gets, guess what? You can get yourself out of that contract, and that's what these fucking fighters are doing.
Interesting point.
So don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Canelo decides to throw the fucking fight and take his loss with Skull.
All right. Well, listen. I'm gonna be watching. My ears are gonna be perked up. My eyes are gonna be wide open. I'm gonna have some eye drops. Maybe even trim my nose hairs. And I'll really be watching with all my senses to see if something is askew.
Hey, this will be the last time I call. I'm gonna tune in on YouTube now because obviously I'm getting on your nerves. But tomorrow you're gonna hear about me again.
Is that right?
Right?
Wait, are you saying on? Are you saying on we're gonna hear about you on TV? Is that what you? Don't do anything drastic, man. Please.
No, not on TV. On your show. Because you're gonna do the same thing with Canelo's fight afterwards, right? Yeah, so I'm gonna call in tomorrow after the fight for Canelo.
If anything, listen. I don't know if we're gonna go live tomorrow, but if there is indeed anything surprising, anything shocking, anything sensational, we will be on, man. We will be on, and I hope you can call in.
And I'll call it. Me and you can host it because it's conspiracy. Remember, this is the conspiracy status right now. Think about it. Turkey Al-Sheikh, Dana White. Come on, man. It's written in front of our face. Something spooky is about to come out.
You may be right, man. You may be right. Listen, for the moment, I think we're at the end of the show. I've been doing this for 2 hours, so yeah, I'm gonna go. But listen, Ayo, shout out to you. You're really offering a different perspective to this, and I'm always open for different perspectives because you just never know. Sometimes we miss a piece of the puzzle, and it takes somebody like you to come in and deliver. So shout out to you, Ayo. Thank you for your calls, and we'll talk later, right, man? Take it easy out there.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Take it easy.
God bless.
You too, man. Right back at you. Alrighty, so listen, that concludes our night of calls here. It's midnight. I'm gonna go hit the hay because again, we got another day tomorrow. Hopefully the fights are better tomorrow, and then on Sunday, Inoue, who's must-see TV, and you got Rafael Espinosa, who's also must-see TV, taking a very dangerous Vasquez, who has given Raymond Ford hell. He gave Cordina hell at 130, and now he's back at 126. It's gonna be an interesting one. Also, here's the other thing I wanted to say. Somebody else was talking about the back foot bitches and how Jim Lampley and Antonio Tarver were calling it out. You got to remember, Jim Lampley, he's old school, for lack of a better term. Antonio Tarver, also from another generation. These guys are unafraid to call it like they see it. Mike Oppinger, he was, reticent to criticize Haney's performance. Why? Because he's from the new generation, from ESPN. The hallways of ESPN in the last decade or so, it was all about being politically correct. It's all about a certain type of fighter, a fighter who fits a certain profile that they've been trying to push for a while now. So, of course, he probably, maybe it's not even a push. Maybe he really likes those type of fighters. It wouldn't surprise me. He seems like that type of guy. So, it was good and refreshing to hear Jim Lampley and Antonio Tarver. And one last note on Antonio Tarver. He got bamboozled out of his Showtime contract because people might remember he used to be the expert commentator for Showtime, and then they kicked him to the curb because he tested positive for a PED during one of his fights, which I don't understand why they would have to fire him over that. But one thing's a commentating job, the other one's fighting, so I don't know. I guess they didn't want that stain on their record or whatever, so they kicked him out. But he was always good, man. Him and Paulo Malignaggi. Abner Mares, I liked him as a boxer. He seems like a nice guy. He also enjoys the paleta payaso. Well, actually, I never really enjoyed those paleta payasos. I talked about it on Discord. It was all just it's a marshmallow covered in cheap chocolate. But anyway, the point is, as a commentator, he's got some things to work on. That's all I'll say about that. But shout out to everybody who called in. Really appreciate it. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody who donated with the super chat. I believe I read all the super chats a while back. Let me just make sure I did. Yeah, I did. Shout out to everybody that donated. Really, you guys really. I think you paid for everyone that donated this week, whether it was on Buy Me a Coffee, the super chats, or on our Patreon. Shout out to you guys. We really appreciate it. It pays for the pay-per-views, and it allows us to watch them and then come here and give you guys a chance to talk about it with us. So really appreciate it. Shout out to everybody that called. I like this type of shows where I get to hear from all sorts of people, different points of views. Sometimes we get some point of views that some people might find a little strange, but hey, guess what? Sometimes what's strange seems crazy in a crazy world. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is sometimes sanity seems crazy in an out of whack world. All right. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Like I said, shout out to everybody who called in. Everybody in the chat here. Who's still here? Handsome Mechanic, Eparokua, who says Crusades 2.0. What the fuck? Crusades 2.0 time, he says. Pound for Pound King, Mark, Hurricane Hank, Jump Tube, the Quags. Shout out to the Quags. Pound for Pound King, Mars Boxeo, Life and Logic, Scrap TV, Arturo, BGX 217, Casamigos Kyle, Guts and Glory, Jump Tube, Nightmurph, shout out to Nightmurph, who says beep, Jump Tube, Quentin Lassiter, Hurricane Hank, geez Louise, as you can tell, I'm running out of energy here, but the Can Man, the Kane Mac, everybody, if I forgot anybody, fellas, Dark Dog, of course, Handsome Mechanic, if I forgot anybody, fellas, because we do have to go, or rather I have to go. We'll see what we do tomorrow. No promises on whether we're going to be doing a show. Listen, Canelo loses tomorrow, of course we're going live. If he wins as expected, but I'm really looking forward to the Ajagba fight tomorrow. Oh yes, I'm looking forward to that one. By the way, shout out to this feature on the hell is that? Hold on a second, that's not it. Shout out to this feature on the YouTube chat. It's an AI feature that compiles most of the comments or all of them and gives you an idea, a synopsis of what's transpiring in the chat. And this is what he had to say a couple of a couple of hours ago. Chat summary, auto-generated experiment, quality may vary. So this is a summary. Viewers are criticizing a person for not being able to afford batteries for his smoke detector, yet owns a Rolex watch. They are also making fun of the person's speech and overall behavior. I mean, if that doesn't summarize the cesspool that is our chat room, then I don't know what does. I mean, people were making fun of somebody for what? Not being able to afford what were they talking about in the chat? I got no clue. They weren't paying attention to the show. That much I do know. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Oh, by the way, a couple of more things before we go. I said earlier that I looked like Wayne Grove from Heat. That I was kidding around. But since everyone was so generous in calling in and generous with their super chats and with their money, obviously hard-earned money, I always appreciate it. And with their time in calling in, I got to tell you, this is a BDA face reveal, or as close as it's ever going to get. I actually look like the ass-to-ass guy from Requiem for a Dream. That's what I look like, a little bit. And I'm a little bit sort of into the same things. When I go to parties and we got hookers there.
So what are we going to do now?
Ass to ass.
There you go. That's yours truly, Mr. BDA. Oh, hey, speaking of ass, here's another exclusive. Virgil Ortiz was at the fight, and he's a man of many crafts. And multi-talented individual, Virgil Ortiz. Not only is he a top-notch boxer, that win over Madrimov was sensational. He backed up a puncher and never got hurt, or at least that I saw. I never saw him get hurt in that fight. So he's got that. Now he was at the fight. He was doing a little bit of commentary. Like I said, a jack of all trades. He just recently got published at the age of 26, right? I think he's 26. Just recently got published by Penguin Classics of all, the top-notch publication. And he just recently released a book, by the way. And I did get an advanced copy because they were considering me for the foreword, but there it is. Virgil Ortiz. You can't miss that book, let me tell you. All right, listen, fellas, that's enough exclusives for today. You're going to have to keep on listening, keep on hitting that like for more exclusives, all right? So shout out to everybody in the chat. Don't forget to hit that like on the way out. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to leave a couple of comments. Don't forget to stay tuned for more videos, more live streams. Check out our videos. Box's most shocking moments of all time. Box's most shocking moments of 2024. I was going to say 25. We're not there yet. Check out all our videos. We got good content. Also free content on Patreon. Covering all